Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome back to the Simability V8ESC Championship, Season 12, rounds 12 and 13 from Indianapolis. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me tonight, and also your cameraman, it is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Evening, everybody. Hope you enjoy this.
I'm sure they will. So let's have a quick chat about the track, P. Indianapolis. Obviously we're on the road course and not the oval. Always been a bit of a weird one for me because you're doing it anti-clockwise. You're doing it clockwise rather than anti-clockwise. But it's not a particular. It's not a technical track, is it? But I think because it's so flat, it makes it a bit more difficult. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because I did a couple of races in the GT4 TCR League around here with Gary Craig, and we were saying that whilst it is absolutely ironed out flat, sorry, I just seen someone go flying sideways through the camera shot. Whilst it is absolutely ironed flat, apart from the obvious bit of banking, it's quite a technical track to get round. The straights are ended with very sharp 90-degree turns at each point, which doesn't help you. And in these monster V8 cars with such massive amounts of horsepower, that's even more the case. It's definitely a challenging track, even though it is. I don't find it as dynamic personally as Daytona Road, but I think it's got some really good qualities about it. And one of the good qualities is fast straights with very heavy braking zones. Do you know what that means? Overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, can't disagree with that. 2.6 miles long, 14 turns, located in Speedway, Indiana, USA. Now, we have never, ever taken this series here before. So this is a first. Let's get the folks at home caught up with where we are in the various championships before we concentrate on the qualifying. So in the Simability Cup, Johnny Brandon leads the way with Simon Trendle second and Tyler Newitt in third. In the Teams Championship, XVR Holden lead the way with BSTV Esports Green second, Team Chimera in third. The Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award is headed up by Tyler Newitt, followed by Nikolai Bogotyrev and then Dale Green. The Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award is led by Jamie McKnight, then Johnny Brandon, then Kenzie Newhoff. Driver of the season, Kenzie Newhoff leads the way, and equal second is Simon Trendle and Nikolai Bier. In the head-to-head, so tonight is the quarterfinals. Rich Warmingham has got a bye in quarterfinal 1. Quarterfinal 2 is Nikolai Bogotyrev versus Steve LaValle. Quarterfinal 3, Johnny Brandon against Bob Woodhouse. And quarterfinal 4, Jamie McKnight against Adam Wright. Last time out, we was at Watkins Glen. Johnny Brandon took away the win in the sprint race. Adam Wright second, Tyler Newitt third. Johnny Brandon double win because he also won the feature race with Adam Wright second and Vincent Skilbeck in third. So back to tonight, Pete.
Yeah.
We was talking off air that it looks like NQR have been doing some serious practice for tonight. But to be honest, there's not really anybody up the top there that you wouldn't expect to be up there, is there?
No, I've just seen Jamie Wilson putting it properly sideways coming out of last turn. His teammate Simon Trendle is currently second. I think, yeah, the cream has floated to the top already in this qualifying session, and Johnny Brandon was nowhere near that time in practice. Whether he'd put quali fuel in, I don't know. Whoa, as Simon Trendle cocks his leg up on turn 2. I think we need to go on board because, not with Simon though, because he's losing it at every opportunity at the moment. Rich Warmingham might be a good one to go on board with, seeing as he was the star of practice. Oh, I lost my connection just for a second there. I hope that's not going to last. So this is turns 4 and 5. A little chicane that you can completely ignore, really, because you just drive straight across it. This is a long back straight. You can see where we are on that inset picture there. We're coming to a 90-degree left-hander. This is what I used to struggle with, this one, in the TCR. That curb you want to keep off. It's massive. This one's not so bad. It's flat. And you go through this little S section here. It's quite slow, or it feels slow. You take loads of curb on this right-hander here before you get onto this curving piece of embankment, or it will be in a moment. You just about get a bit of embankment, and then you're off it again. You turn sharply right, keep off that curb. That'll disturb the car way too much. The curbs here are evil and deceiving, Clyde, because some of them are flat, some of them are not. And, you know, with my brain, as you well know, I forget everything. And I think I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is the last turn. And you fire it down here, over the start-finish line, over the bricks, and then you are into turn 1 and 2. It doesn't take long a lap round here. It's only 1.5 minutes, 1 minute 25 actually. Keep off that curb there. That's what kicks you out. And then this one's flat through here. You're off the gas for ages. Then you're steady through this corner. And when I say steady, you're half on the gas. And then you're back where we started. Pretty much. You've got a little run down to this little chicane here that I said you completely ignore, and you pretty much do, because then you've got loads of runoff on the outside there and no slowdown. So a lap doesn't take very long, Clyde. It's quite a... you don't get much rest. There's 2 reasonable straights, but in those reasonable straights you are going to be looking in your mirrors if you're leading, and you are going to be popping out of some slipstream if you're not.
Yeah, I think they're just long enough, though, aren't they, to relax your grip on the wheel.
But it's not like Daytona Road, is it? You've got ages at Daytona.
Yeah, but you know, obviously, whilst you're relaxing your grip on your steering wheel, you're also getting ready to put the brake pedal through the floor at the end of the straight.
Yeah,
so,
Rich Warmingham getting that one very wrong. Here's Kenzie, top of our votes for driver of the evening, driver of the meeting.
Yeah, currently Johnny Brandon has provisional pole with Simon Trendle second and Tyler Newitt in third.
Everybody's piling out of pit road at the moment.
Yeah, this must be the very last opportunity to get a out lap and a quick lap in.
We've still got 23 drivers in this session tonight, so a healthy grid again. It'd be nice to see it peak at the 30, but then it does get a bit of carnage for the cameraman, so maybe I should be grateful for it. Nicole Foggy on the chat, why is he not driving? If he can type, he can drive, right?
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
You would think so, yeah. We need an excuse.
He seems to have abandoned his friends.
Yeah.
Maybe
Meds.
Maybe that's a bit like the Scottish independence referendum.
Is he saying he's mediums? Is he what? Hey, what's going on? Careful now.
Yeah, I think he must be on, I don't know, thistle buds or something.
Yeah, something Scottish. Right, so don't they call whiskey medicine up there? I don't know. Mike Frost says, fun track, good luck all. I think they're going to need it. The first turn here is notorious, isn't it? You're on the gas for quite a long time off the start, and then you've got a very short stop.
Yeah, it is one of those tracks that, has, shall we say, an element of impending doom.
Yeah, it really
Lap
does.
one, turn one.
So we got Woody's feet for tonight. But that's all we've got. Have we just gone into session?
We have.
Oh, in that case, I better do this.
So your starting grid for this evening's sprint race is pole position, Johnny Brandon, XVR Holden. Second, Simon Trendle, Team Chimera. Third, Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Green. In fourth is Tony Kloosterman, NQR. And in fifth, Kenzie Newhoff, Hydra Race Racing Forces. Sixth is Rich Warmingham. Seventh is Adam Wright. Eighth is Steve LaValle. Ninth is Ant Woodward. Rounding out your top 10 is Jamie McKnight. In 11, it's the other half of Team Jamie. It's Jamie Wilson. In 12th, it's Vincent Skilbeck.
Do you want me to do page 2?
On then.
Bob Woodhouse will go off 13th for NQR Europe. Greg Carr will go off 14th for NQR. Rob Venn, that's a good qualifying result for him in 15th for BSTV Esports Green. Sam Buzan, who's he? In 16th for BSTV Esports Green. I didn't think she was racing. 17th, Miro Hrazki, Central Europe, so he's a privateer. Nikolai Bier goes off 18th for Alcantech. What are they not highly rated? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right.
That's the one.
Nikolai Bogotyrev goes off 19th. So the Nikolais are together and the Jamies are together for NQR Europe. Dale Green goes off 20th for Gombrot Racing. His teammate David Fernandez goes off 21st. And their other teammate, Chris Sherman, goes off 22nd with JB Dejoux bringing up the rear of the field, Clyde.
It's going to be a good one. I do have the safety car poised.
Oh.
Just in case.
Well, the safety car's on track. We don't normally do a rolling start?
No, we don't.
No, this is going to catch the drivers out. So apologies to drivers and viewers. We appear to be on a rolling start. Is it because it defaults because it's an American oval track? I think it will be.
Could be, or it could be something to do with the update that was done to Indy.
Oh, it will be, won't it? Of course. This happened to us once before after an update. Do you remember?
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, apologies to drivers and apologies to viewers. We have been caught proverbially pants round ankles by an update tonight. Hopefully the drivers have fueled enough to get round here. It'll certainly make for an interesting start, Clyde.
It certainly will, won't it? Yeah.
No Kylie. That's a good point. Alan Toon. No Kylie tonight. No Jason Haddington.
Sure, he sent a message earlier to say he was looking after his grandson tonight.
All right. He doesn't look old enough to be a grandparent, does he? But never mind.
No. Perhaps he's deception. I don't even know what I was going to say.
Deceptively is what you were looking
That's
for.
the one.
But never mind.
Yeah. Deceptively old.
Yeah, he must be. Carl Hardy says good luck to JB as we tour around the track.
Kenzie Newhoff looked like he was pushing Tyler Newitt there down the straight.
Yeah, he really did as well. He was close on. So Johnny Brandon, very experienced driver. He will have done rolling starts before. In fact, this entire grid, front to back, will have done, won't they? We've got some quality individuals in here. Jamie McKnight has qualified higher than he usually does. So his Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award has been founded on the fact that he's qualified terribly, hasn't it? And he's made his way through the entire field on some occasions.
I think Jamie probably has had limited practice, shall we say, for this season.
Really? Right, okay, because he's done really well.
Yeah, he's not a slouch, is he?
No.
But you can certainly tell when he's done 500 laps of practice and when he hasn't.
Yeah. So, where are we on track? Are we near?
Yeah,
we've got a chicane left.
Little wiggle.
Yeah. And I will focus on our race leader. We should get a down the start-finish straight view once they start to go green, which is around about now, I would think. Although, no, Johnny's holding back. Of course, you got to wait for the pace car to go. Simon's stalking him very well, actually, isn't he? Oh, there he goes. So he did get a little bit of a jump there, and Tyler's gone with him. Tyler, very experienced at oval racing, so he will know all about rolling starts for sure.
This is hard on the brakes, everybody.
Although it looks reasonably good so far.
That's Sam. Sam Boozin has been around at the back.
Oh, yeah. Just going to watch these guys hooning it through some of these chicanes. They are fanned right out behind, look. That's Jamie Wilson there. Underneath Vincent Skilbeck, but that's just maintaining a position. That's not actually moving through the field. This is close, though. Whoa! This is for third place, so this is a non-shabby position. Tyler been... Oh no, Tyler's doing all right. This is fourth,
Tyler's
sorry.
ahead of this.
Yeah. Top three have made a bit of a fist of it, Clyde, and have got a gap.
Yeah, well, I think this this battle for fourth place is raging a bit. So because the top three have got themselves line astern,
Yeah.
that's given them a little bit of a gap. So Rich Warmingham in fourth now has got a little bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of overtakes on the start-finish straight here. Are we going to get two positions here for Ant Woodward? No. He's going to lose one. Jamie Wilson trying to defend desperately against Vincent Skilbeck's attention here, and he's going to lose now. Oops, sorry. Or is he? No, he's going to be on the favourable side for this little chicane. Yep. So nicely played there from Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, JB Dejou's been in the pits already.
Oh, right. Let me see if I can find anything on it. Oh, the event tracker's not keeping up with me, that's why. I think we should definitely watch this.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to Sam. I don't know if he had a touch or was all on his own.
Oh, that looks like a bit of a nudge.
It was either a nudge or a bit of solid air, but...
yeah, that was Nikolai Bier that he was alongside when that happened. JB... No? Oh, JB's lost his bonnet there already, so I think that...
He has, hasn't he? Yeah, so something must have happened going into turn one to JB.
Yeah, well, I think it's happened even prior to that. I think he's run into the back of David Fernandez. Oh, yes. Very, very hard, yes. So everybody stacked up.
So that was it David Fernandez trying to avoid Sam Boozin?
Yes. Still going on back here. So Sam Boozin taking a position there. Chris Sherman getting crowded out. So we're... What are we on? We're already on lap 3. So
yeah, top 3 still line astern, but there's about 7 cars, I think, 6, 7 cars in that pack behind.
Yeah, I would say so. In fact, probably more than that. I mean, the train is quite long, and everybody's within half a second of each other, pretty much. Until you get as far back as the car behind Jamie Wilson, who's that? Greg Carr. So that's the first significant gap between 4th and 11th. So yeah, 7 cars it was. Your maths was very good. That is your 7 cars on screen.
Yeah, and then there's another little pack behind that as well, isn't there? So
there is, yeah. We do find this with V8s, don't we? They kind of get into pocketed battles. Jamie Wilson has got Greg Carr now between him and Vincent Skilbeck. Greg Carr having a great day so far, up 2 positions. Up more than that, we only have the likes of Nikolai Bier for Alcantech, not highly rated, Oh, hang on. Rich Warmingham, is he dropping down the order for a very good reason? No, it's just my SDK being stupid.
Simon Trendle is putting a lot of pressure onto Johnny Brandon at the moment, and that's also dragging Tyler Newitt right behind them.
Yeah, he needs to push this. We've seen what Johnny Brandon does when he starts to get away. He just disappears in Foggy-esque fashion. So if Simon can, put his car in a position which upsets Johnny's rhythm, then that's going to benefit the entire field, you could say. Simon's not going to pop out this time by the look of his car. He's going to take the most optimal line he can get through this first series of turns and get right up under the boot lid of that whole Commodore in front of his.
We saw last time out, didn't we, that Johnny in front, and I think it was Adam behind him.
Yeah.
When there was half a second, 0.3 of a second, Johnny was comfortable with that. If Adam got any closer, Johnny managed to find another gear, didn't he, and go away again. So
yeah, and in the interview afterwards, he said it was fairly routine for him. He was able to do that. It was comfortable for him to pull away, which is either all talk and putting people off in verbally in the interview rooms, but I actually think he has that capability, which is even more worrying because it's like founded on fact, as it were. So Ant Woodward just been put a position down by Jamie Wilson. I'll try and find that. Here it is. So he got a mega run on him.
Did, didn't he? Yeah.
Absolutely mega out of that previous turn, and then fully alongside before he tips in. And there we go.
Yeah, there was no way he could say no thank you to that sort of run.
Not really. While we look at what happened to Tony Klusterman in a second, you can watch Woody's feet and what they do at the same time. Or maybe not yet, anyway. Oh, he just lost it on the gas.
Yeah.
Lost
He's got his PJs on.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So those not Tony Klusterman's feet, they are Ant Woodward's feet. And then shortly after Tony did that, Tony did this.
Yeah, they couldn't be Tony's feet because he's Canadian, so he's got hooves.
So under braking, is it? Yeah, under braking.
Yeah.
Ran
he
through
just
the
came.
corner.
Looks like he came off the brake too soon, didn't he?
Yeah, and
thought he'd got it woed up enough and hadn't.
Yeah, so Dale Green and others have passed Tony. In fact, oh dear, Tony's not having the best of days. This is in quick succession his third off. I think that's
Rob Venn.
Rob Venn that he's fighting off there, and he's run through the corner heavily again. Rob Venn also did. So Tony gone to the grass. And we'll now go back to live footage as Johnny Brandon seems to be under quite a lot of pressure still. He's not getting away.
No, but they've that gap back to Tyler has grown again.
Yeah. But not by a great deal. 0.8 of a second, really. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, it's Rich Warmingham that's got a big gap in front of him, a fairly sizable gap behind him of 1.5 seconds before we get to one of the key protagonists from last time, which is Adam Wright, who's got Kenzie Newhoff, who we know is dangerous in close company, and Steve LaValle is not far back in a fight with himself with This man, Jamie McKnight, our train caller.
The BSTV train announcer.
Yeah. Jamie and Ant in close proximity.
Oh,
Ant's not going to let this go,
No, so it's a big run from Ant.
isn't it? He's going to be fully alongside before he tips into this right-hander. Although he was earlier on the brakes than Jamie. Can Jamie hang this on the outside? I held my breath for most of that.
How far can they go too wide?
About that far, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll get repaid pretty quick. I don't know why.
I was going to say that's not a bad decision there from Jamie Wilson, is it?
No, just let him go and get the run on this straight instead.
See it in the background.
Yeah.
And defending.
He is. The next turn is to the right, which means that Jamie may well have an advantage. But then they shimmy again. Yeah. Jamie should have, well, I was going to say Jamie should have an advantage, but his car was pointing the wrong way there. Slightly off the optimal line. But a good battle nonetheless.
Yeah, that's also bringing Greg Carr into this battle.
Yeah, who doesn't need to be brought in. He's up 3 positions, which is better than anybody else in the field that hasn't had somebody have something bad happen. Tony Klusterman is currently 14 places down from his start position, so he's going to want to do something about that. I don't know what the reverse number is for this series.
It's 10 in this series,
10,
yeah.
right, yeah. So he's going to want to pull, what, 8 positions to give himself the most optimal start for the feature race, the hour-long race that follows this one. Carl Hardy says he suffers with understeer, oversteer and concrete walls when he drives the V8.
And pie stands.
Steve Lavallee having to do major defending with Jamie McKnight on his 6. Oh, and wheel spin, massive wheel spin.
Yeah, that almost gave Jamie a look up the inside then.
Well,
but,
it's going to now because
crikey,
blimey.
Jack.
It was, and that's kind of what happens when you start losing your traction, right? I mean, whilst it wasn't invited, you're going to take every opportunity you can as a racer. Was that too bullish? What do we think? Oh, what's going on here?
Well, I just saw an NQR car going very, very wide. I think it was Ant
It
Woodward.
was Ant Woodward, yeah. I can run us back to that if you want. It was a strange bit of behaviour. Bob Woodhouse crashed at some point. When it says crashed, I don't necessarily believe it, but he is down 5 places, so we might go back and look at that. This is Ant overcooking it into that little chicane there, and now he's let Jamie go. Oh, and then Jamie apparently didn't want the position that well, and at turn 1 has done this. Same as Tony Klusterman, funnily enough. And then got angry. Did you see him absolutely nail the gas then? So he knew that little cut through was there. He's done that before.
Yeah. It's going to be a massive slowdown, though.
I think that's going to be a chunky slowdown. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so at the pointy end, the business end, we have Johnny Brandon with just 0.2 of a second between himself and... yeah. Why is that not showing any stats? Oh, because I'm still on replay. Usually you point that out to me hours before that happens. Before I realise. So we'll go back to the front.
Yeah, it's definitely game on up the front.
Oh yeah, he's not letting him go anywhere. I mean, technically, Simon only needs to lead from 1 lap, right?
Indeed. One little bit of straight, to be honest.
Yeah, that's all it is. Get a really good drive out of the last turn and you can win the race. Dead simple. And Johnny will know that, of course. So we're looking at fastest laps at the moment, and the fastest lap is with Johnny Brandon at 1:25.35. It's almost nothing between him and Simon at the moment. 1:25.4 from Simon, but it does look like Simon's stalking his prey, doesn't it? If you know what I mean. Whether he's got enough in the tank there and enough ability in the locker to overhaul Johnny Brandon, I'm not sure. What are your thoughts?
Well, for me, it's just a fascinating battle. You know, Johnny Brandon has been, what is he, a 4-time champion in this series. He's been around for many, many years. Simon Trendle, we obviously know from GT4 and TCR. We know what a good driver he is, but he's fairly new to the V8s. So this is a bit like the old guard versus the newbies up front. You know, Johnny Brandon, we know tactically seems to know all the tricks. We know Simon Trendle takes the tactical side of it very, very serious because of the things we've seen him and Jamie Wilson do in GT4, TCR, and other series.
Yep.
Oh!
Sorry, that's a replay that's kind of just happened, to be honest. And that was listed on SDK as Rob then went off track. I think he was helped off the track, if I'm being perfectly honest.
He went off track, I'll give him that.
I don't know why he was going quite as slow as he was, because Nikolai really did give him a pounding just there.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
So at least that was a crash, as it was listed. But yes, you are right, absolutely. At the front, Johnny appears to have lit the wick now. I don't know whether that's a tyre thing. And Johnny's been much better on his tyres. I really don't know. SDK can't do sector times for this track, apparently. So I can't see who's better in which sector.
Yeah, the thing is with this car that, you know, 2 or 3 tenths can be the difference between getting out of a corner clean or lighting the rears up.
Yeah, there was a Gombroke racing car. I think it was David Fernandez.
That was David Fernandez.
Extreme getting out of the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, taking getting out of the way, you know, a little bit too far, but...
oh, look at this. Johnny Brandon on the defensive line.
On again.
It is. I think Johnny Brandon was like, what is that Gombroke racing car doing? And got off the gas, you know. I honestly think that. Because if you saw someone doing that, you think, when are they going to come back on track?
Oh, I think he's more looking in his rearview mirror going, what is that Murray mint behind me?
I'm not allowed to park on it, I know that much. So this is another battle that's on, like properly on, and these two are, they've got previous, haven't they, for racing one another?
Yeah, these... You know, every season we always talk about a couple of drivers that always manage to find each other on track. And this season, it's Adam and Kenzie.
Yeah, all the time. The two Jamies, but they are massively apart at the moment. But yeah, these two bolted together. Ooh. Sorry, I just spotted that these two were like on the same bit of tarmac again. Ant and Jamie.
Yeah, Greg Carr's still shadowing them.
Yeah, and look at Vincent. He's going, yeah, I'll just cruise back here until somebody throws themselves off the track. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, there he is.
Stealth mode.
Yeah, never worked for me. Oh, Jamie, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's too much wheel spin. But he's managing to do it, isn't he? That can't be good for his tyres, though. That's going to come apart at some point soon.
Yeah, you do. Maybe not. I think it is quite a...
Oh, that's a good
because
run.
it's such a flat track, I think it's quite hard wearing on the tyres.
Right.
So you could be right. You know, Jamie may pay for that in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and Woodward round the outside, Clyde. That was a great move. That was all on pace down Do you reckon he's running a seriously low wing because it's Indy? Oh, come on, Jamie, look at this. They're making a fight of this. Oh, he needs a shallow line through here, and he's got it. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's a brilliant overtake. Oh, is it? Oh, who's that? Who was that?
Well, they're holding Greg Carr up, and now Vincent is all over the back of Greg.
Oh, it was Nikolai Pierre who went off track in the foreground of the shot a minute ago. As Ant Woodward goes extreme right hand side.
There's no drafting going on there, is there?
No. Oh, that's brilliant. Look at Vincent having a look as well. Oh, this is too good. Oh my word! Sorry. Oh, I thought that was a done deal then. I really did. I saw it on my timing screen go bright red, and I thought, oh, we're on.
Well, Johnny seems to be defended at the same place, doesn't he? Lap after
And
lap.
at the same lap each. Yeah, definitely. Look at that, Ant Woodward. Got a bit of a gap now, a bit of breathing space. Jamie's in the clutches of Greg Carr. Jamie turns in really nicely there. Still think that overtake on the previous lap was amazing from Jamie. That was just brilliant.
Yeah, and you know, to be honest, these two are going to be absolutely loving this. It wouldn't matter. It's for 9th and 10th at the moment. It wouldn't matter if it was for the lead or for last place. These guys just enjoy these kind of battles.
And unlike a lot of drivers, definitely unlike me, Ant Woodward does the whole heel toe non-auto blip, because you have to blip this car, don't forget, folks. In order to downshift, it will absolutely destroy the engine if you don't. You can auto blip, which is the cheating thing that I do, but there you go. See that? That's Ant Woodward blipping his throttle on his downshift on the braking phase. He does it properly, doesn't he? He does it properly.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing, Pete, though, is he's doing it in Superman PJs.
Yeah. No change at the front, folks. Oh, what was that?
Oh, Vincent!
Vincent got a whole load of grass in a non-drugs kind of way. Oh, and Tony's going to overhaul him. And he has done. So Tony Kloosterman, has he got him? Yes, he has, yeah. Sam Boozen has got Vincent Skilbeck next on the menu.
Looked like Vincent got a handful of understeer, which turned into snap oversteer.
It did, yeah. It was quite a bizarre. My timing screen is red everywhere at the minute. You can probably see that, which is a problem for me because I don't know where to point the camera next. I think this one, that's a good corner by Vincent, it has to be said. Because he's going to come out shallow in this corner, which means he's going to get proper good drive onto the next big straight. So we'll come back to that. Further back, this is all going on. Where did Miro lose his boot lid? That's not even been on my event tracker. I have been watching the event tracker this time, you can probably tell. It's getting tasty at the front again. Simon's gathered himself together and has decided he wants a battle after all. Although Johnny Brandon's looking very much like last week, isn't he? Last time, rather.
Yeah, I do. It's just, when you've got a close battle like this, because of those two half-decent straights, it's difficult to get away. I don't think the straights are quite long enough to affect an overtake in the V8 without a massive run out of the corner and the car in front getting a slipstream. But if you look here, look, Simon will get right back up to him as Tony Kloosterman's had another mistake.
Yeah, there's something gone on here with Vincent, and I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to try and see if this is it. So bear with me a second. No, he's miles away. What? Maybe we'll see what's going on. If I move forward to Tony, Eh?
Yeah, that was Tony all on his own. Just
It really
losing it out
was.
of the corner.
Bizarre. Right, okay, back to live race. Ooh, we need to go back to live racing very quickly.
Yeah,
Very
John's
quickly.
defending again into the same position.
And we've seen that you can do an overtake around the outside there. Simon's not bothering with that right now. He's gonna have to hurry up here because he's only got 4 minutes left. If he wants to win it, it's going to be in the next 2 laps. Do you know what the good thing about this particular racetrack is? You can see on the tracker in the right corner of the screen, the leader hasn't caught the rest of the field on this particular race yet, which means in the feature race that will also be true, right to the very end probably, which means we might get a very exciting finish.
You could be right.
Yeah, because you're going to have a pit stop in that as well, which will delay everybody equally. So I think there's going to be a really good end to the end of the feature race. Alan on the chat says, what a battle. Too right. Oh, there's something going on further back. Oh, Kenzie's finally done a move on Adam. Is he going to make that
also
stick?
put his car in a position where Adam couldn't turn where he wanted to turn, so he had to give up on that one.
That was
for 5th place.
And what a great staged overtake that was. Very tactically mature from Kenzie Newell. No wobbly kneecaps to sing with tonight. Sambuzen's found Vincent's skill back. Ooh, or has he? Yes, he has. Jury's out on whether he stays there or not.
He's using the Bingham cloak at the moment.
Yeah, right. People need to sort themselves out. Everybody's going red on the timing screen. This is not funny for a cameraman. Jamie Wilson and Ant Woodward, inseparable again, Clyde.
Yeah.
Well, that was a wiggle.
Just keeping an eye on the lead battle. There's nothing going on at the moment.
Okay, cool. There is back here. Bob Woodhouse wants that position off Miro. Miro's taken the ultra defensive line into turn 6.
Yeah, Bob had a couple of really good results, didn't he, at Watkins?
He did. We've yet to see it again, haven't we? Ooh, that was a wiggle as well.
Right. Lead battle is properly on.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to look away from this one. Meanwhile, further back, Adam Wright and Kenzie are slugging it out still. This is still the closest though. Jamie and Ant are still slugging it out. This has been battles everywhere the entire half hour. I'm going to keep my eyes on the screen. Bob Woodhouse really having to go at Miro now.
Yeah, I think the leaders are going to get the white flag this time round.
Okay. Oh, he's closed him right out there. That's really good racing from Bob Woodhouse and from Miro. Let's see if we get Barney on the flag stand.
So close. Oh, no, it's not. We're miles away.
We are miles away at the minute. Timing screen's red everywhere, Clyde. You tell me where I'm pointing the camera.
I think it's only fair that we concentrate on this lead battle for the final lap.
Yeah.
It's not that often that we get to concentrate on a battle for the lead at the end of a race. Simon has another look.
He has a look, but he's not done anything yet. Further back, this is going on. That's crazy driving from these two. Absolutely crazy. Kenzie's going to keep that, I think. Oh my God. Honestly, there's just battles everywhere. Kenzie's done well there. This is Jamie. The white flag is out. I just saw it at the top of the screen. Didn't realise it was that high up in the air. Further back again. Tony Klusterman and Vincent. Are we having it at the front? Are we having it at the front? Oh! Oh my God. Well, he's going to cut back on that one. I'm going to go back to this one very quickly. Tony underneath Vincent. But Vincent's going to keep that corner. Tony's kept it round the outside. He's done a great job there, Tony Klusterman. That's an excellent position to have claimed. That is Sam Buzan, believe it or not, in front of him in 11th. One more place and he gets the reverse. This is your lead battle. Oh, what is going on here?
Simon Trendle is throwing everything at this, but
Yeah.
he just can't find a way past. And Johnny Brandon is going to take away the win in the sprint race.
Yeah, that's a great victory and
But he
great
had
second
to
place.
earn that one.
Really has done. Tyler knew it. Quite a quiet race, to be fair. Even though he finished third. This one's still going on. Oh, who got that? Kenzie got it in the end.
Kenzie got it, yeah.
Wow. This is still going on. Honestly, this has been a great race, Clyde. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, well...
Oh, good race.
He may be disappointed, Jamie Wilson, for not getting past Ant Woodward, but that has given him the reverse pole.
Oh, yeah, good point. And then back here, Bob Woodhouse has been off track again, by the way. So he's fighting his way back again. I think that's his third off. And he was closing rapidly on Nikolai Bier, but he didn't make it. So it's a 17th for Bob Woodhouse. He's not going to be happy with that, I don't think.
Just Rob Venn to finish, and there it is.
Yeah, so I don't know when it's going to go official. Now.
So, round 12, the sprint race. Win for Johnny Brandon for XVR Holden. Simon Trendle battled him all the way, second place for Team Chimera. And as Pete said, Tyler Newitt, a fairly quiet race, but comfortable in third for BSTV Esports Green. Rich Warmingham, didn't see a lot of Rich after the start, but he came home fourth for XVR Holden. Kenzie Newhoff, we saw plenty of him. He finishes fifth for Hydra Race Racing Forces. He was battling Adam Wright, who finished sixth. Jamie Knight finished seventh. Steve Lavalley in eighth. Ant Woodward, great battle with Jamie Wilson. He finishes ninth, and Jamie Wilson finishes 10th and claims the reverse pole position. Sam Buzin, after an early spin, fought his way back to 11th. Tony Kloosterman, we saw have a number of troubles, finishes 12th. Vincent Skilbeck in 13th. Greg Carr 14th. Dale Green was 15th, Nikolai Bier in 16th, Bob Woodhouse in 17th, Miro Hrasky 18th, Chris Sherburn in 19th, Nikolai Bogatyrev in 20th. 21st was Rob Venn, JB Dejoux finishes 22nd, and last but not least, 23rd, David Fernandez. So a fascinating race there, Pete, really.
You're not joking. That's ridiculous.
Not just the battles everywhere, but we saw Simon Trendle really pressuring Johnny Brandon. But I'm going to throw into the mix for race 2, the feature race, Tyler Newitt, because we know what Tyler's like for saving fuel. And that could bring him right into it, couldn't it, in the feature race?
Yeah, he's going to start, 7th? 10th, 9th, 8th, sorry. He's going to start 8th. So he's got a few cars to get past. He's got a few fast cars to get past, so the likes of Jamie McKnight, etc. Is he going to bother passing them? Probably not, is he? He's going to do what he does best and fuel save, gain that time in the pits, leapfrog them without having to actually do any overtaking on track, and promote himself in that manner. Whereas the likes of Johnny Brandon and Simon Trendle, they've got the ability to get through the traffic quite quickly with the way that they drive and their innate ability. So I think we'll find that this is going to be quite a dramatic end to the race. Like I said before, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to lap the field like they do in a normal race, because of what we saw in that one. The distance between the back end of the field and the front end of the field, what you would class as half distance, with a pit stop. So I think this is going to be a slightly different environment, what we normally experience. And I am going to leave the booth just for a minute because I have to go and do something indescribable.
Oh dear. Well, no, I'm not going to disagree with Pete. However, although we know Tyler could, in theory, sit back, save fuel, try and do the overtakes in the pit lane, as Pete says, to me, it really depends on the gaps up the front, because he can't afford to be too far away from the lead battle, because he he just won't be able to make that time back up through the pit stops. So I think we're going to see a similar race to race one, if I'm honest. I think there's going to be battles everywhere. I think the two longish straights mean it's not that easy to get away from a car that is on a similar pace to yourself. And obviously it's also going to those long straights and the heavy braking zones are really gonna make people interested in the overtakes, and hopefully the fair overtakes. So yeah, I think race two, it's got all the ingredients are in the bowl for it to be an absolutely fantastic battle. We'll just have to see if the chefs on track can make the right cake. We are currently in it's classed as a warm-up session. I think it's more like a warm-down session for the drivers, whilst they gather their thoughts, grab a drink, maybe visit the little boys' room,
I am
and
back.
get ready to go again.
Yeah, so where are we in this little session? Can't tell at the moment because I haven't done that. Right, so we've got a 10-minute session. We're halfway through it, for them to warm up and see if they can figure out what went wrong the first time. I think the person who will be probably the most frustrated is Tony Klusterman, because he had a number of off-tracks in quick succession which relegated him backwards quite quickly. I wonder what he can do to change either the setup or his approach in order for that not to happen, because he's ended up starting, I think, in 11th. That's kind of like the bridesmaid's position in a race like this, isn't it?
He won't be 11th, will he? That was Sam.
Was that Sam, was it? Oh, he might be 12th then, or something like that. He certainly wasn't in the reverse. So we'll have to see where he starts, because I've lost track.
Tony, it depends on whether... It's very difficult to tell, isn't it? Because we know how easy it is to make a mistake, get angry with yourself, which leads to more mistakes.
Yeah.
So it could have been that. If it was that, only Tony can fix that. If it was a set-up thing, then, he's got a number of teammates. I'm pretty sure they're not all running the same setup. He could try something different. There's been a lot of talk this season, especially about the rear wing, and a lot of people, running next to no wing for the extra speed, and then other people running like maximum wing for the grip, and ultimately there doesn't seem to be a lot of difference in lap time. So
No.
Does he go with whatever he went in the first race? He just does the total opposite in the second race.
Well, if he does, then he's not going to have practice on that setup, is he? So I think it's going to be a bit of a risk. I think, we have heard the conversations about other people running like no wing and things like that. Wasn't able to catch them. I was catching them in the turns, and you get people overtaking in the turns. I think this is one of the races. I didn't expect this race in the first one, by the way. I didn't expect it to be as competitive as that, or as close in so many places around the track. I mean, I know I complain sometimes that everybody starts racing all at the same time. But it was absolutely ridiculous in that sprint race. There was like 6 battles all at the same time, all with the same gap, and absolutely ferocious, all of them. There's multiple overtaking opportunities on this particular track. Is this one from the officials, or is this a voted one?
No, this is from the officials.
Is it? Well, they've chosen well then, if this is anything to go by. And we were looking, were we not, at the at last night's officials to see what happened, and not many of the sessions have gone official this week.
It's not really a loved track, is it?
No, but look at the racing you get on it. It's brilliant.
I know, which is, you get that sometimes, don't you? You go to a track where you know what, the racing is going to be absolutely fantastic, and you're like, it's a yawn fest.
Yeah.
And then you go, you oh God, we're going to Indianapolis this week. Not really looking forward to that. Bang, awesome racing.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's weird how it happens.
Yeah. Nikolai Bier, I'm not sure, I can't remember where he finished in the first race. He was definitely in the action, though. Not many cars on track at the moment. Greg Carr was up quite a few positions in race 1. I think he's got quite a lot of speed, you know.
Well, again, I'm not sure, but I remember when these cars first came out, and Greg Carr took to them like a duck to water, and was absolutely phenomenal.
He was, for the first few races, he was.
Yeah.
Right in the top 3.
I think maybe with Greg, it's again a lack of practice.
So I think we are gridding.
We are. I'm just gonna set the grid. Do breathe. There we go. Right, so now I have emptied my mouth of cake. Let's run you through your starting grid for round 13, the 1-hour feature race. Jamie Wilson goes off on pole for Team Chimera with Ant Woodward second, NQR Europe. Steve Lavalley third, XVR Holden. Jamie McKnight, NQR in fourth. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports Green in fifth, with Kenzie Newoff, Hydra Race Racing Forces in sixth. XVR Holden's Rich Warmingham in seventh, and Tyler Newer eighth for BSTV Esports Green. Simon Trendle is ninth for Team Chimera, and race 1 winner Johnny Brandon starts 10th for XVR Holden. Sam Boozin goes off 11th, with Tony Kloosterman in 12th.
I'll let you eat cake for a second.
Excellent.
With 13th being Vincent Skillback for Wheeler-Bins Mayhem Republic. Greg Carr goes off 14th for NQR. 15th will be Dale Green for Gombrot Racing. Nikolai Bier will go off 16th for Alcantech and Not Highly Rated Esports. 17th will be Bob Woodhouse for NQR Europe. Miro Hrasky will go off 18th for, he's a privateer, sorry. 19th will be Chris Sherman for Gombrot Racing. Nikolai Bogotyrev will go off 20th for NQR Europe. 21st will be Rob Venn for BSTV Esports Green. Jimmy DeJew will go off 22nd. Is he racing for BSTV now?
He is, but not in this series because he joined after the series.
After the start. Right, okay, fair enough. And 23rd, David Fernandez for Gombrot Racing. Hopefully his fortunes change in this race. So, we shall get prepared for the, the unexpected rolling start. Again, for those of you joining us halfway through, this is because we suspect it's because iRacing did an update overnight, and we have been caught out by this before, and it resets our settings. So apologies to drivers and to viewers that were starting expecting a standing start.
Normally I would blame myself and say it was me setting it up, but especially with lessons learned in the past, instead of setting up the races, you know, each week, I do the whole season all in one go, so all the settings are the same. So I can only assume that it was something to do with the update to this track.
So everybody filing through in good order. Sam Boozen starting way higher than he was in the previous race, and next to Johnny Brandon. So I wonder if he can take any advantage from that. Nikolai Bier, who we were talking about before in that Alcantech car, lots to do from where he is at the moment. Same for Nikolai Bogotyrev. We often see him further up the field, and he's at the minute back in 19th/20th, because that's the row he is on. Back at the front here, we have Jamie Wilson, who will lead us away for this feature race, 1 hour, brought to you by Simability, making sim racing accessible.
That was very American, that, Pete.
It really was, wasn't it? I was so happy about that. I want to go boogity, boogity, boogity now. Right then, so... a couple of turns to go. This one we saw a lot of overtaking on this particular bend into a chicane in the first race. This is going to be a feature of this race, I expect, as well. They come around this right-hander, and you're carrying a lot of speed into an even more sharp right-hander here. And it leads into a left-hander. So if you can hang it around the outside, which we saw a lot of them doing, you will get an advantage. And then you are into one of the fastest areas of the track. You can see that on the inset map. This left-hander leading onto, you can see that's where the pit lane disappears off just there. So these guys have to keep behind that pace car before they launch. If you go too soon as the lead car, you'll overtake the pace car and you'll get a penalty, and they've gone. That was perfect. Did you see where the pace car was? It was right on the line.
Yeah.
Right on the line. That was perfect from Jamie Wilson.
Look at that knot of cars.
I know, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's some movement further back. Johnny Brandon and co moving through the field slowly.
That looks like everybody through that first complex nice and safe.
Oh, too wide and lots of curb there, lots of curb just ahead. Rich Warmian getting himself a bag full of curb, and Simon Trendle and Johnny Brandon getting through on that one occasion there. That's all you need to do, Klein, just get a bit of curb too much and you get swamped in this league.
Yeah, especially when the cars are this close together at the start of a race.
Yep. Jamie Wilson has set off like the March hare. Look at the gap he's got. What's that?
Well...
Oh, look at that. That was Ant Woodward defending his position from Adam Wright there. We know how fast Adam Wright can be. A bit further back. Is that Johnny Brandon? It was, yeah. Giving pressure to Simon Trendle, his combatant from the last one.
Simon, but Simon's obviously fought back. And just that gap at the front sort of worries me, because we've seen it so many times, haven't we, in a reverse grid feature race where somebody disappears 3 seconds up the road and then the pack hunts them down.
Yeah, and Jamie Wilson's just done a qualifying lap on lap 1, so he's done a 1:28.5.
Perhaps he's got qualifying fuel on there.
Well, is it such a bad idea? I don't know. I don't know. Adam Wright under pressure from Steelable Valley behind him, and also Jamie McKnight. It's a busy track. Look at that.
Yeah, it is a classic. Jamie Wilson is first, and Woodward is second, and everybody else is third.
Yeah, it really feels like that as well. There's Jamie in the foreground. That's Ant Woodward, and then Adam Wright plus an entire field's worth of cars. There is another gap ahead of Miro, but it's not a massive one. 1 second.
Yeah, I think Bob Woodhouse is in the safest place at the moment. He's got over a second in front of him and over a second behind.
This happened not so long ago. That was a big bump that Vincent got there. Oh.
And a big disappearing act as well.
Yeah, I think that happened on his own screen, and I think that's why that happened.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Fastest man on track, Tyler. Oh, with a 1:25.8.
Yeah, he's obviously lost out to Simon and Johnny, hasn't he?
Well, we're now in pretty much the order that we finished the first race for these three. Jamie McKnight putting lots of pressure on ahead of... Oh, no, he's under pressure, sorry, from Kenzie. Under pressure. This wheelie bin here trying to get back to where he was. He's lost 6 positions with that little foray, so... Again, incidents at the start of races lead to lots and lots of lost positions.
Yeah, some terrible news coming in for the XVR team. Nicole Foggy is running their tactics for them in this race.
I think
they're doomed.
We're doomed. Dad's Army. That's looking like a good overtake here for Nicolai Bier. Yeah, very nicely done there on Greg Carr. Greg Carr with a massive amount of wheel spin coming out of turn 1. This is business right now, isn't it? Jamie McKnight, Kenzie Newhoff, Simon Trendle, Johnny Brandon, Tyler Newitt. And then not that far behind, Richard... what was it, Dick Cooling Beef?
Yeah. I just, you know, we see it last time out, actually. You know, the winner from race 1 starts 10th, race 2, picks his way through the field, gets another win. But if you look at what's in front of Johnny Brandon...
You mean a field of race winners?
Exactly.
we're not far wrong, actually. Pretty much sure that Jamie Wilson's had a win at some point. And Woodward, we know, has a win because he was on about it for months. Adam Wright has had a win. Steve LaValle, maybe he's not had a win, but he's definitely been a top 3. That was interesting. Just ahead, Kenzie stepping out. Oh, he's made that work very well. That's a lovely overtake, isn't it?
That was a cracking overtake, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jamie McKnight back in 1 place and into the clutches of Simon Trendle. Yeah, I like that overtake. That was very clean and very well orchestrated. Up at the front, or towards the front, because the front is another 2 seconds ahead of this. Adam Wright and Ant Woodward. Oh, look at Adam taking that shallow line. That's lovely. He's making this work as well because he's going to stuff it down the inside here in very safe order. He's got a long right-hander to make this work with, and he's on the optimal line.
Look what that's doing to Jamie Wilson's lead at the moment.
Oh, no. 3.5 seconds it's going to be by the time they finish bickering.
I'm trying to get XVR to pit now.
That's funny. So, for 3rd place, Clyde, I don't know how many cars that is. 2nd place, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cars. We're nearly fanning out. They thought about it, didn't they?
Well, I was just watching, I think it was, is it Kenzie, yeah, with Jamie McKnight. I don't know if he meant to do it, but it looked like an absolute perfect block.
Yeah, it was a classic. It was great. Oh, something going on back here with Sam Buzan. Here we go. That's Nikolai Bier on his inside. Now on his outside.
Sam going backwards at the moment.
A little bit, yeah. That was very wide from Nikolai Bier, mind. We'll move forward to this motley crew. This is, right now, folks, this is a case of Jamie Wilson plus the rest of the field, like Clyde said before.
Just having a look if I had any insider information. And I haven't.
No, I think there's pumpkin carving been going on there. Oh, that was a real good attempt by Johnny Brandon on Simon Trendle, but it didn't happen. He really made it look like it was going to, though. Further back, Tyler bolted onto the back now of Johnny Brandon. Is he going to try a move here, or is he going to play it super safe?
I don't know. Let's see if I can influence XVR.
Are you sending messages? Oh, Tyler on the inside of Johnny Brandon. This is going to be interesting. Oh, he's lost his back end. So, too much gas for Tyler Newitt. I often have that problem on a Sunday afternoon. Is that you winding Foggy up? That's funny. And Woodward under mega pressure now from Steve LaValle. Ooh, he didn't make any good ends of that, though. And Kenzie Newhoff now is going to absolutely mug him, potentially. Was that a bit of a hip check? I'm not sure. I'm not sure there was actually contact.
I think that was more avoidance.
Right, this is going to be tasty by the time we get to the end of the next straight climb, because they're all stacked up now because of that.
Yeah, Simon Trendle's down the inside of Jamie McKnight. Johnny Brandon's trying to go with him.
Yeah, this is Johnny Brandon's now on the inside line here. I think he's going to make this work.
Yeah, and Tyler's going to want to go with him.
That's probably not the camera angle you want, so we'll go back to this.
I don't know if Jamie McKnight just bounced off the wall.
Oh, I'm not sure he didn't, because there's all sorts going on back here, look. Tyler having a really long look. Oh, Johnny Brandon and Jamie McKnight. And Tyler, right around the edge of all of them, he's going to monopolise here, absolutely. So, Jamie McKnight absolutely hounded out 3 positions.
That's nearly 4 as well.
Yeah. There's all sorts of shuffling going on.
Yeah, Nikolai Bier is giving it to Tony Kloosterman.
Where's Rich Warmingham gone? There. Rich Warmingham just backed out of a move that lost him 4 positions.
They were nearly 4 wide there, Pete. That was
crazy.
That was sensible, shall we say.
This is recent, I should point out. I think he's only done this because he's never going to get any footage that far ahead. That's a loss of concentration from the race leader.
He's tasting the champagne, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, and that's not good. Oh, there's lots going on. Everybody's piling through all the corners. This is a great track for these cars, Clyde. What is going on?
Yeah.
Didn't predict this.
Strange.
Did not predict it. Oh, my God. Nikolai Bier. How did he slot back in? How did he get back in like that? That's crazy. That's good driving. But he's going to lose another. That's Bob Woodhouse trying to do it around the outside. He's going to have to fall in line there. Going back forward again because this is getting tasty now. I tell you what, we've got cameras on these guys a lot, but they haven't moved forward that much. 3 positions.
No, that's right. No, because they seem to be overtaking one, losing one, overtaking one, losing one.
Yeah. This is Vincent Skilbeck on an utter recovery drive. We saw him get mobbed off before. He's losing a bit of ground to the cars in front now as well at the minute. Do you think that this track was just a bit of a not an attractive prospect for?
No, I raced this track in a couple of series, but I can't for the life of me remember what cars it was in. It obviously wasn't this car.
No. Well, I've definitely driven it TCR twice, and it was a good race, but it was very, very technical, very, very challenging, and I don't think I enjoyed it necessarily. Oh, I was pointing at the wrong people. I should have been pointing at Sam. He was about to get overtaken, maybe. Oh, that's close. By Rich Warmingham. But not. So Sam's defended that very well, and now Rich Warmingham is going to get Nikolai Biard, potentially.
Well, I know Nicole Foggy's listening to us, so the pit window is now open.
Oh.
Luckily, he can't see me winking.
You really are trying to scupper XVR, aren't you? Can you see how much red there is on the timing screen? This is
yeah,
this
all
is
of
obscene.
it.
No!
That was never gonna work.
Oh, my God, that was violent. Right, we're having that again.
3 into 1 was never gonna happen.
Yeah. So Vincent on the inside line just kind of drifted in.
There,
he's drifted in. Just enough to make a bit of contact, and that's all it took. It was only, like, initially incidental contact, wasn't it? But it led to so much.
I thought Greg had got away with it.
Yeah. But alas, not the case. Oh, no, this is going to get tasty. Look at this, Clyde. Sam Boozen staying on the safe side. Nikolai Biard. Who's he racing with? Rich Warmingham, I think. Oh, that was a touch. That was a touch.
Oh, can he get it woed up?
Is Sam going to benefit massively? He is as well. Look at that. Like a rat up a drain pipe.
I think that...
Oh, my God.
Gave Rich Warmingham a massive overspeed into that corner and he couldn't get it slowed down.
Well, I don't think he had any traction for braking. I think it had all gone. Oh, my good God. What is going on? This is a great track for V8s. Don't tell anybody it's our secret. Oh, look at that. Nikolai Biard in the background coming back from a different postcode back onto the racing line. Oh, look at that. Stuck in. This is good racing, isn't it, Clyde? This is crazy.
Well, it's all on at the front now, mate.
Oh, yeah, he's been caught. Adam Wright has tracked down our race leader massively. And the chasing group is not far behind.
He's dragging everybody else with him as well.
I mean, he's going to do well to get it from 3/10 back into turn 1, but never mind. Yeah, look at all these lot. And look at this. This is Jamie McKnight on Tony Kloosterman, I think. Is it?
I think it's the other way around.
It's Tony.
Get past Jamie.
Yeah, apologies. And I think that's also 21. Yeah, that was too easy. So this is everybody else.
Yeah, this is... Oh, hang on.
Whoa, what have I missed?
Adam just lost over a second to Jamie.
Event Tracker says no. As easy as that, Clyde. Event Tracker says no.
Okay, obviously it didn't happen then.
That's funny. Oh, there's too much going on again. I've got battles here and I've got battles further back.
Well, Johnny Brandon has got
doubled up, 2
Trendle.
by 2. Yeah. Oh, that's tyres off for Steve LaValle. That's not going to end well. So Johnny Brandon and Simon Trendle go through. But Johnny Brandon is now ahead of Simon Trendle. Glide, that's pivotal.
I don't know if we can see where that happened.
Tracking back. No, because it's not on my event tracker at all. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, my word, it was miles back. Oh, he's got damage on the left side. Can you see that?
He has, yeah.
So there's been some love distributed. So he threw
he's
that.
got that inside run, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Simon got bottled up behind Kenzie.
Yeah, and then he just blocks him into this corner. Yeah, he's just opened the steering and done the job. So that was that turn, Clyde, that I said was a long right-hander.
Oh!
What?
I've just seen
Death.
Steve LaValle. I have no idea what he did. The car just went on him and he went into traffic, but I didn't see if there was any contact.
Well, this is it. So there's not much traffic behind him.
Watch.
Oh my God, what is he doing? That's bizarre. What is that?
And that was Simon Trendle.
Was it? Oh yeah, he's lost a position back to Tyler. That was bizarre. I don't know what would cause that. Oh dear.
No. Is it possible that he tried to turn left sooner than the left turn?
I don't know why you would though. Let's have a look.
There is a left turn there, isn't there?
Yeah, so under braking. Too hot into the corner, Clyde. That's all that was. Missed his braking point and could not get the car stopped. Locked the fronts.
I think that was a tactic to get Simon off of the back of Johnny Brandon.
Right, they're all at it again, Clyde. They're battling and crashing at the same time. So this is Greg Carr doing a bit of a U-E. That's all that was. Oh. No. Oh, what is this? Honest to God, can these people not sort themselves out and crash at different times?
That is Kenzie.
It was.
Oh, and he's had a touch there
Has he
from
been
Tyler,
Adams?
I think.
That was 27.
Adam.
27, yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay, so all happening. Are we actually in a pit window? Or not yet?
No idea.
Brilliant.
Adam Wright has gone from 2nd to 8th to 9th. He's just given that position back to Kenzie.
Right.
That wasn't taken, that was given.
Yeah. Further back. Oh my God, Miro, what are you doing? Miro had that all kinds of buckaroo, didn't he? That thing was alive. It was trying to kill him. Oh. How has he got away with that? Oh no! Oh no! No! Ooh. That's Nikolai Bogantyra, by the way. Threading the needle. How did he not connect with anybody? He got turned himself.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. It was one of the Alcantech not highly rated cars. Just give him a little love tap.
There's only one. That's Nikolai Bier. Oh yeah.
Just there.
Yeah. So I don't know that there's much in that, to be honest. A bit of a racing incident. Two different lines into the same corner. Different. Strobing in and out, but never mind. He already looks like he's got damage here before he does this. Oh. Sideways into turn one.
He's having a lot of connection issues tonight, isn't he?
He really is, yeah. Yeah. Nikolai Bier seems to have done something. Oh, is he pitted? No. This has happened though. So the first car to blink is Adam.
So I'm guessing that the pit window is open, and I'm also guessing that Adam had, after that little coming together, admired himself back in traffic. So
Yeah.
that might not be a bad call to get out with some clear track.
Yes. So that's interesting, isn't it? So you pit from pretty high in the field and you come out at the back. That doesn't happen on many tracks, does it, in these cars?
No, that's very true, but a very decent track, a very decent tactic, sorry, especially if you are mired in traffic.
True, right, yeah. Tyler under pressure from Simon Trendle, who is now delayed, of course.
Yeah, and will have some damage on the front of his car.
Do you see how sideways Adam was around last turn? Foggy says probably best to go halfway, I guess, for tyres. Is he just saying that so that other people do that? Because we are 7 minutes away from halfway, which is about a light year, isn't it? So we've got a bit of break up in the field now. We see this in feature races in this series. Not quite the utter scrap it was in race 1, but...
Oh, that will come back.
Yeah. Oh, that was interesting. Sam got a position for about 1 millisecond on Rob Venn, and Rob took it back again. Further back, Nikolai still trying to get on terms, excuse me, with his namesake, Nikolai Bogatyrov. Bit of damage on the front left of Nikolai Bier's car. Oh, they're all coming together again, Clyde.
What is the plural of Nikolai then? Is it Nikolai?
Probably. Oh, they're all doing it, Clyde. Oh, it's all going on right now. So there's this one, Simon Trendle and Tyler.
Yeah, his teammates at it as well.
Yeah.
Is that Tony and Jamie again?
Yes. And I
Jamie back in front.
Yep. That one's sorted out. That puts Kenzie right on the back bumper of Tony Kloosterman. We've got Bob Woodhouse and Sam Boozen in pit road. We will go back to the Tony Kloosterman, Kenzie Newhoff face-off here. See how I used the Canadian thing there? It's good there.
Johnny Brandon's got past Ant Woodward and up into second. And he is 2 seconds behind leader Jamie Wilson.
And this is how that was done.
A long way back
wow.
there, but Ant had
wow.
a big ride, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a bucking Bronco underneath him just for a second. Yeah.
And Johnny said, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, I'm having it. Kenzie Newhoff has just, I was going to say overtaken Tony, but he only overtook him because it was a shorter trip to the pit road.
Yeah,
just
for
a
Valley
second.
As well.
Yep.
In the pits.
Followed him in. Oh, and in the background, Nikolai Bogatyrov. Oh. So we have Simon Trendle ahead of Tyler Newitt still. Chasing down Ant Woodward with Johnny Brandon just in front. Jamie's got himself a reasonable gap, Clyde. He's 2.2 seconds ahead at the moment.
Yeah, it's it's comfortable enough that he's not looking in his mirrors, but I think he'll be looking at his relative and seeing what Johnny Brandon can eat into with that lead.
I could show you Jamie's car, but it looks just like this one, so we'll stay with this one because it's in action. Oh, in fact, we'll go a bit backwards because Kenzie has closed massively on Jamie McKnight. He took like half a second out in 2 corners. He's not closing very quickly on the start-finish straight. We're approaching half race distance. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of our 23 cars pit. 9 now because we've got Greg Carr has just entered pit road.
Yeah, Adam Wright, I think, is the highest placed pitter, isn't he, at the moment?
He is, yes. And maintains that actually because he's just passed Greg Carr.
Johnny took a big chunk out of Jamie on that lap.
And Mackenzie's made it happen. So it felt like Jamie made that easy for him. I don't know why. Is he going to pit? In fact, I'm Woodward, Simon Trendle, pit road. Jamie's going round again.
Yeah, Johnny Brandon half a second quicker than Jamie Wilson on that lap.
Yeah, Rich Warmingham has joined pit road behind these guys as well. He's got damage, which will get done in his fast repair. Miro Hraski to pit road. So, all going on here as these guys still continue their little battle here. Ant Woodward to pit road. Chris Sherburn and David Fernandez to pit road. So pit road is very busy now. Look at this. It's like the M25 on a Monday at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, well, we're bang on halfway now.
So these guys really have just cut it in half. Kenzie pulling away now from Jamie McKnight. Adam Wright is overhauling everybody in pit road, Clyde. Apart from Simon and Ant, who are ahead of him.
That didn't quite work out for him, did it?
No. A bit further ahead is JB Dejoux in his Shriners liveried car. Ant Woodward a little bit further up the road. Simon Trendle a bit further up the road. Simon being the furthest forward car. However, Jamie Wilson and Tyler Newitt are in pit road.
So that leaves Johnny Brandon, Kenzie, and Jamie McKnight, doesn't it?
It does. And the only other one, JB Dejoux, who I would think will pit this lap anyway, because in pit road at the moment is Jamie, Tyler, Rob, and Nikolai. So there's a lot going on in pit road at the moment. Jamie McKnight closing in now again on Kenzie. That's a back marker in front of Kenzie. It's David Fernandez, fresh out of the pits. Owes us a pit, doesn't owe us a pit stop, of course. These guys do. There's only 3 cars in the top lot plus JB.
Simon Trendle has jumped Jamie Wilson.
Oh, wow, yes. Oh, right, okay. So, Here's a wild comparison. Simon Trendle. In fact, we'll do it the other way around. Jamie Wilson. Pit lane time, 1 minute 10, Clyde, with a 19.65 stationary. Okay?
Okay.
Simon Trendle. Pit lane time, 1 minute 6.8, 3.5 seconds. And all of that was stationary time.
Interesting.
So what has he not done? What has he done better? What is the right terminology there? I don't even know. Ooh. So Jamie McKnight has caught himself a Kenzie Newhoff, or he did for a second. Oh wow! So Tyler Newitt on Jamie Wilson, our one-time race leader. Is he going to make this work? He's hanging it around the outside. He's going to make this work, Clyde. Because the next turn is in his favour. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can stay side by side, you can get it done.
Yep. And this track has been amazing for that. Look at that. Tyler Newitt sets off down the road. He's currently in 6th place. He's got quite a jump actually to Ant Woodward. He's got 3 seconds. Why has Jamie Wilson fallen so much from grace here? His pit stop was a lot slower than everybody else's so far.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps he wanted to be safe on fuel. There's still 3 guys ahead of him that haven't pitted.
Correct, yep. Yep. And in order, that is Johnny Brandon, your current race leader that owes us a pit stop. Kenzie Newhoff in 2nd place, 12 seconds behind him. And Jamie McKnight, who's right on his 6th. This is Miro putting Sam under a lot of pressure. Should get a lot of slipstream down here. Miro be able to step out maybe by the end of this straight. He might want to stay in the tow though. No, he's having a little glance out. Nothing serious there.
Well, Johnny Brandon has put a lap on Nikolai Bier. If Johnny Brandon is looking in his mirror, he's going to be having a code brown at the moment because Nikolai is a bit wild behind him.
Is he trying to get unlapped?
I don't know, but he's had a couple of moments.
Right. You never know with you know, some of the guys that are less known to us. If he thinks that Johnny's overtaken him in an aggressive fashion, he might have taken exception to it. You don't know, do you? That's the problem.
Yeah, I did see the overtake. There weren't nothing aggressive there.
Oh, right, okay.
It's very easy, isn't it? Just to outbrake yourself or miss a corner.
So
it wouldn't surprise me if Johnny pits.
At the minute, the guy holding the furthest forward positions is JB Dejoux on +11, but he owes us a pit stop. So
yes,
and there he is on screen at the minute, getting overtaken.
Yeah, I half expected Johnny to pit that time just to get out of the way of Nikolai, but he didn't. So we go again.
Maybe there is something in the overcut. Oh, what are you seeing? What are you seeing?
It was just Nikolai having a look up the inside. Johnny Brandon's going to be, dude, what you doing?
I know, yeah. I think there'll be words said at the end. Look at that. Look at the gap that Johnny gets on one corner. What is that about? I mean, that just emphasises the ability of some people, doesn't it? And in this case, Johnny Brandon, he got like 1.1 seconds in a corner there, believe it or not.
Yeah, but he threw a lot of that away there by locking his wheels up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. This is Tyler, who's hunting down Jamie Wilson. Jamie, our one-time race leader. Top 3 folks are still to pit, along with JB Desjou, who has just entered pit road.
Oh. Stays out again.
Jamie Wilson gets such a massive amount of wheel spin that Tyler's straight through there. Jamie's fighting back, but he's not going to be able to do much. That was the Johnny Brandon line from Tyler Dewitt there.
Yeah,
super fast.
As he tried to defend, he put himself offline, which really screws up that chicane, or at least the exit from the chicane.
Yep, absolutely. Further back, Miro still pressuring Sam Boozen. Surely that's a slowdown for Miro. That was a lot of curb.
No, I think there's a tenner on the table there for a decent punt.
Yeah. It's not wobbly though, but it's still a BSTV pink car. Oh, Sam's gone deep into that corner. Who is that stalking them behind? That's Nikolai Bogotyrev, who's about to get in on this action. And Rob Venn. Have you seen Nicole on the chat?
Yeah.
So he's saying they're not liking my numbers and now they're shouting at me. I'm going to cry. That's hilarious. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Surely we're going to see Nikolai pop out here on Miro.
Johnny stays out again. Nikolai still on him.
Oh. He's not going to hang it around the outside like Tyler did. And has to slot back in.
You've got to be side by side to make that work.
Yep.
Anything else, you've got to give it up. So 20 minutes to go.
That's gone very quick, you know. Right, and then back here, Vincent on a mega recovery drive. He had a lot of damage when he entered pit road at the front of his car. So he's closing in on Chris Sherman. Miro has lost his connection with Sam Buzan. He's now under a lot of pressure from Nikolai Bogotyrev. Sam Buzan's like naffed off down the road a bit. Oh, he's popped out there.
And Brandon stays out again.
Really? Wow. The top 3 have all stayed out, I think. As Nikolai Bogotyrev takes a position there.
And Kenzie's in the lane.
Oh, right.
Jamie McKnight stays out.
So, Simon Trendle is the next car back from Kenzie Newhoff. And he's not that far back down the track, Clyde. And they were scrapping, if you remember, before the pit stops. Or was it him and Jamie? Was it Kenzie and Jamie that were scrapping?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
Jamie much further back on the lap, obviously. Making his way around this long and sweeping right-hander into a tight right-hander chicane. Oh no, we're further around than that, sorry. And then Kenzie still sat in pit road. Now he's launching.
He's going to lose out to Adam Wright, isn't he? And Tony and Steve LaValle.
Yeah. Rich Warmingham is coming up on his 6 at the minute. He's having to stay on the side of that line. Oh my God, who was that?
That's
Steve Lavalley. What happened to Steve?
Johnny Brandon's in.
What will Jamie McKnight do? So he's gone in. Has he just gone in hot like we've seen a few others? Oh no, he's over rotated. Well, yeah, it's the same principle, isn't it? Whoa, that was close though. That was really close. Jamie McKnight into pit road as well. Or it will be once I've clicked the live button. So, Simon Trendle is currently your provisional race leader in theory. Johnny
Brandon will get out in front of him.
On his way out of pit road.
Oh, no, he won't.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think this is Simon Trendle's now. Because Johnny Brandon has lost second place as well. He's out now onto the main track. He's got Ant Woodward right behind him. But he's got a whopping 7 seconds, Clyde, to Simon Trendle. What on earth have I missed that has given Simon Trendle a 7-second lead?
Well, it must have just been new tyres and clear track.
Well, it has to be, because I'll just talk everybody through, including yourself, the pit times. Johnny Brandon spent 1 minute 7 seconds .07 in pit road with a 16.77 seconds stationary time. Simon Trendle a 1 minute 6.8. So only 0.2 in it, Clyde.
Yeah. So I can only put that down to the undercut.
Yep. And free track, like you said. Further back. This is Tony Kloosterman and Adam. Adam not as high up in the order as we've seen him previously.
No, but he had that coming together, didn't he, with Kenzie?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That dropped him from 2nd to 8th.
Yeah. Oh, he's popped out. Well, he's just broken the toe, actually, and taken the defensive line with Tony. And I don't think that will work for him at this phase. But when he gets into this double right-hander that follows, he's going to be minted, which he is. I'm going to go and get myself a can of Coke or something. I'll be back in a sec.
Roger Dodger, as we see Tony Kloosterman have a moment. So can Adam do anything about Jamie Wilson? Oh, this is looking tight. Oh! That was Ant Woodward, Jamie Wilson and Tyler Newitt. A little bit too close for comfort there. Johnny Brandon sets off after Simon Trendle. Something just happened to Tony Kloosterman, and we'll get Pete to have a look at that when he gets back. He just dropped about 3 or 4 positions. Johnny Brandon is really gunning it. He's got that gap down to 3.5 seconds. So Johnny can see Simon at certain parts of the track. Gap is just about 3 seconds now. There are 11.5 minutes to go. I can hear Pete coming back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Just skip back a lap or so, see if you can see what happened to Tony Kloosterman.
I am on it. He was in close company with Kenzie. Oh, wow. And Kenzie...
that looked very netcody to me from that angle.
There was quite a lot of gap. Let me do that again, but at the opportune moment I'll switch to chopper cam. Around about now should do it. Oh yeah, there was quite a lot in there. Solid air, massive solid air moment. We'll go back to the live.
Yeah, so Johnny is eking into Simon Trendle's lead. That's under 3 seconds now.
Hang on, wasn't that 7 seconds?
It was, but don't forget,
Good
Johnny
God.
pitted late, so he had very, very fresh tyres.
Wow, yeah, and Miro's just lost the position there to Nikolai Bier, who's got really quick tyres. Yeah, Johnny's tyres, 9 laps younger. That's a lot of laps. Another double win for the Brandon machine, do you think?
It's definitely on.
Oh, wow, look at the state of JB's car.
That is very recent.
Okay, I think I've clicked on the wrong one. I think this is the one I actually wanted. You know, where his car is full of panels and stuff. Oh, oh, oh. The V8 does that, doesn't it? It punishes you. Oh, now we've got to look at this one. Sorry, lots going on. This is a very shiny, new, untouched Miro Hraski's Mustang GT. Oh, until that curb, which is what we spoke about at the beginning.
Yeah, monster curb.
And I think that may have broken his suspension. I really do, because that came up as a crash. Oh, look at him wiggle. Oh, yeah. So there's something going on there with that car.
Nicole Foggy has obviously read the latest version of Pete Bingham's racing excuses.
Oh, go on.
Because he's putting them all on the chat at the moment.
Oh, let's have a listen.
Just in case Johnny doesn't win.
Yeah, go on.
It's all about tyres at the moment.
Yeah, I've used that in the past. Go on. Is that all of them so far?
Well, it is literally all about Johnny's not going to catch him as quick now because the tyres are falling off, and usual excuses.
Whatever.
So if Johnny wins, he'll say, "See, I told you he was going to win," and if he doesn't win, he'll say, "See, I told you the tyres were a problem." Ooh,
look at that!
Wilson, Tyler Dewitt, getting a bit personal.
Well, these guys pitted on exactly the same lap, so there's no advantage either way unless it's fuel on board. Mr. Wilson.
This looks horrendously quick at the moment.
Yeah.
For some reason.
His pit stop was 1 second longer than Mr. Newitt's.
Lead is now under 1.6 seconds. 6.5 minutes to go.
I'd say that
it's going to be picking up a bit of toe now.
Yeah, so the last lap was half a second faster from Johnny Brandon. There are 6 minutes to go.
But he's still got to get past him.
Yes. Oh, lots of wheel spin there from Jamie. Puts Tyler a bit out of reach right now, although he's hauling him in pretty quick. There was nice lines through that chicane, and he's now within 0.3 of a second. He's just taken half a second out of him in 2 turns.
It's now the sun's fault that Johnny's not going to win the race.
Oh, is that right? Of course.
Yeah.
Why would it not be? Now the sun's out, Trundle's tyres are going to heat up again. Why didn't I think of that, Clyde?
I know.
So, 0.37 of a second between Tyler and Jamie.
I wonder if Johnny could race with one of those F1 marquees over the top of his car.
Yeah, that
cool.
that would stop the track from heating up. If they sent it, just a couple of seconds ahead of his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, Tyler trying to break the toe with extreme right-hand sideness is the best I'm doing.
Inside the last 5 minutes.
I don't know why I selected Nikolai. I was aiming at Sam. This is another close battle on track. In fact, they're all coming together now. All at the same turn, apparently, Clyde. What is that about?
Yeah.
We do this every single race. Jamie back onto the back of Tyler, but he got a massive amount of curb there, so that's going to ruin that one. So we're going to have a look at something else more interesting, which is this one. And Vincent's got that done on Miro. Jamie closing right up again. He's not able to do much about Tyler, though, is he? Finding a way around is proving a problem.
Yeah, well, as you were saying with the pit stops, there's no advantage in tyres, is there, between these two?
No.
So it is all down to driving.
Jamie doesn't want the tow, apparently. Happy to do it without. Sam not yet able to do anything with Nikolai. But that gap is very slowly closing down. You can see it straight away. Whilst it seesaws in between corners, it is slowly coming down to nothing.
Yeah, leaders are almost together with 3 minutes to go.
Yep, there's, what's that, 2 laps? Or is it 3? Is it 3?
They might only get 2 in from where they are on track at the moment.
Yeah, they're in the, turns before the penultimate. Around this big sweeping right-hander into the tight right-hander chicane. Look at that, Johnny Brandon, he absolutely slings it through that corner, doesn't he? You can tell he's having fun through that bit. I'm going to have to nip backwards in the field to here because 4 cars have found each other again at the end of the race, Clyde. What is going on with this league? It does this every time.
We did say.
I'll keep one eye open on the front.
Cross the line with 2 minutes 20 on the clock, so this is the penultimate lap for the leaders.
Right. Oh, look at that, the back of this group, Kenzie Newhoff with a mega run. Is he going to get 2 positions by the end of the straight?
Oh
my word, Jamie McKnight slams the door shut.
Yeah, I really thought those two were coming together then.
And Kenzie's going to get 2 in 1 straight.
I mean, he's very late on the brakes, wasn't he?
He was, and he's made it work. That's excellent work from Kenzie Newhoff. Excellent work. Tyler under pressure still from Jamie Wilson, but that's been going on for a while. I'm not sure that that's going to resolve to anything else just yet. Meanwhile, this is the most likely overtaking situation, and he's going already. He's not wasting time, but that's contact.
I'll say that's brave there.
Yeah, he's either backed out of it or lost control of it, one of the two. And then we're back with these two doing the same thing.
Yeah, leaders are starting the final lap.
And there's nothing in it. Mega defending from Simon Trendle.
Yeah, it's got a couple of big places to defend now.
Yeah. Damage on the right-hand side of that Team Chimera car.
I think that may have been from just a short while ago.
Oh, okay.
So, big defence into this one.
Steve LaValle has had to enter pit lane again. Don't know why.
That will be a drive of shame.
Oh, really? Right. Oh, God. I didn't know there was that many incidents to pick up around this track, but apparently I was wrong. Oh,
no,
here we go.
I do apologise. That's not a drive of shame. That must be a meatball.
Oh, really? Right, okay. We'll have to look back at that in a minute. There's no incidents on the tracker. Oh, my God. And Johnny's lost it in the penultimate turns. Has he managed to keep this, though? Has he managed? No, I don't think he has. Or has he? Oh!
He's just had a wiggle there as well.
Look at this. Oh, my God. Contact. Oh, what on earth?
What a finish.
Fantastic racing. I actually managed to do the right camera for once as well.
And that, incidentally, that's a double for Mr. Brandon.
It is. Kenzie Newhoff and Steve. Is that Steve Valley or Rich? That's Rich Warmingham. Rich Warmingham losing out there. And he might lose out again. He is losing out again to Jamie McKnight right at the last. How annoyed is he going to be? Oh, he's out of fuel. Out of fuel for Rich Warmingham. That must be what happened to Steve LaValle as well. Who's leaving.
Steve LaValle had a black flag.
Oh, he did he? Right, okay. Greg Carr in pit road. Don't know why. Rich Warmingham has reset to pit road, I think. Wow. So, high drama at the end of that race, Clyde.
Most definitely. It was, you know, Johnny had got it and then he made a mistake. Simon had got it back. He made a mistake. And then, yeah, so there was Johnny's mistake. And you think, right, well, my money's on Simon here. Now, Simon makes a mistake. Mm-hmm. Johnny comes back at him. And then it's just go for it, see what happens.
Yeah, and Simon came across probably a little early there. I don't know whether he was just trying his luck, but he came across a little early.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do, isn't it? Come across the back and try and scoot up the inside, but Johnny was there.
Honestly, Clyde, that has to be one of the most exciting races I've ever had in V8s.
Yeah, it was
Unreal.
certainly some great racing there.
But for the sprint and the feature, that was bonkers.
Yeah, like you said, 2 races, wasn't it? Sometimes we've had it where we get one good one, one not so good one, but yeah, 2 fantastic races there.
How do you pick the bones out of this one then? Because we've had a couple of dramas right to the end there. Do you think Simon will feel unjustly treated? I don't think he can do, can he? It was him
I
that was
don't
turning
think
in
so.
too
No,
late at the end there. Too
you
early,
know,
rather.
they both drivers, coming out of the last turn on the last lap, you're going to do anything you can to get the win. And sometimes it goes in your favour and sometimes it doesn't.
Mm.
Do you want to bring us our official results?
Yeah, I was waiting for it to go official. I think it has now done so.
Okay, so double winner again tonight. Johnny Brandon takes away the win in the feature race for XVR Holden. Absolutely fantastic battle with second place Simon Trendle for Team Chimera. Tyler Newitt had a really good battle with. Who was he battling with? He was
And
battling with
Woodward.
Jamie Wilson.
He was for a while, yeah. Yeah, where's Jamie gone?
And Jamie was ninth. Okay.
Well, that
So
was
Tyler Newitt for BSTV Esports Green in third, Ant Woodward fourth, great result for Ant, NQR Europe, and Adam Wright fifth for BSTV Esports Green. Kenzie Newoff in sixth for Hydro Race Racing Forces, Jamie Knight seventh for NQR, and in eighth was Rich Warmingham for NQR Holden. Weirdly, ninth, Team Chimera's Jamie Wilson, and 10th, Tony Kloosterman for NQR. Bob Woodhouse was 11th with Nikolai Bogotyrev in 12th, Sam Booz in 13th, Nikolai Bier in 14th, Vincent Skilbeck in 15th with Miro Hraski in 16th, Rob Venn finished 17th with Chris Sherburn in 18th, Stephen Valley was 19th, and Greg Carr was 20th. 21st was David Fernandez, 22nd Dale Green, and 23rd JB Dejoux.
before you go any further,
I was going to
Clyde.
say, can you find anything with Jamie? So, Jamie and Tyler.
All around.
Oh, Jamie
all
just
on his
lost
own.
it under braking, yeah.
Yeah. So that's that one, Clyde. That explains that. That was on the last, the start of the last lap, which is
Yeah.
why I didn't see it, because we were focused on other things. And then he gets himself away, and yeah, lost quite a lot of time, to be fair.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get these interviews underway. We haven't got our winner, Johnny Brandon, in yet. So, for you, Pete, let's bring in double second place, Simon Trendle.
Evening, guys.
Evening. Nice racing tonight, has to be said. You did what looked like a blinder on the pits strategy in the second race, but you were 9 laps, I think, in the pits earlier than Johnny. He managed to cut down your lead, and in the last couple of turns, high drama.
Yeah, high drama. All caused by me getting a bit too much for wheel spin. Yeah, I was defending quite hard in the last lap, and it just took the last bit of life out of the tyres. And I got wheel spin in second gear coming out the second to last corner, gave him the inside for the last one, and then it was both of us scrabbling for grip while making contact, having massive sideways moments. Yeah, it was bloody amazing, great fun.
I was
don't
going
care
to
if I came
say,
second.
yeah, I was going to say, coming second is immaterial when you've had a racing night like that, because that must have been great fun.
It was. I mean, I didn't like the 3 or 4 laps after his pit stop where I was watching him catch me by over a second a lap. But I knew that was coming. You know it's coming, but it's still unpleasant.
Yeah.
And you're desperately waiting for the times to drop, and then it was half a second a lap. And then once he got within a second of me, it sort of died off a bit more because then the aero was being taken away. And then the last lap, I just took the last bit of life I had in the tyres, and he still had his nice shiny ones. So what can you do?
And
It's good fun.
But you got second place in the first race as well, same finishing order really. That was a bit more, should I say, pedestrian? I didn't know what I was doing in terms of pointing the camera at one place or another. It was quite a dramatic sprint race as well as dramatic feature race.
Yeah, nothing much really happened in the first. I had a couple of attempts, but it's really hard to pass when you're on the same tyres, same fuel, and and behind the car you're sort of wearing the tyres a bit more because you don't get the as good a aero. So yeah, as I know that the rest of the race behind us was interesting because Jamie was very excitedly exclaiming how much fun he was having.
Yeah, until I expect the last lap where he's overcooked it into turn 1 and turned himself round.
In race 2, yeah.
Race 2, sorry, yeah, race 2. But he had another fantastic race. I mean, Team Chimera have done well tonight, and probably secured 3rd place in the championship at least. Are you watching the stream at the moment? Or have you got it on a screen?
Hang on, it's hidden behind something. Yes, I am now.
Yeah, so if I do this, you probably don't want to see this, but you probably do at the same time.
Is this the end of it?
Yeah, so I think this is leading into the final throws of the race. So you tip it in here into
a bit
this.
Too far right.
This is the 3rd to last turn, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, shallow angle.
Yeah.
Poor exit.
A little bit of wheel spin there. A little bit of wheel spin. Not as obvious from this angle, but Johnny tries to get round the outside at this point.
Yeah, I thought I'd done it when I'd got him around the outside into the next corner, but then I had that wheel spin. So yeah, it's all.
So side by side through here, Johnny's got the optimal line in theory, and then you're out of the corner. Oh, is this the lap before? This might be the lap before, actually.
No, I don't think we're side by side.
You got a right now.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, me being silly. So this is the corner where you get all sorts of.
This is where Johnny loses it.
Yeah, there's contact here, but that's only because there's not enough track.
Yeah, it tightens really quickly there.
Yeah, and then Johnny throws it to the outside, but manages to hold it around the outside of this turn, which is impressive in itself.
And then my wheel spin turn, and now.
Yeah, just out of this turn, you're going to get a bit of a wriggle.
I thought I had the car straight, and obviously I hadn't.
Yeah, there it is. Just that little bit. There's not much in its margins, isn't it?
There it is. It just carried on a bit too long, and then that was it.
Yeah, and then the final turn happened. Johnny stays pretty close. Well, he's right on the inside there. You can't get any closer without getting grass. And then I felt that you cut across here, just there. A little bit of contact, bit of rubbing, bit of racing. And then that was that. Oh, and then you got a bit of sideways out of the final turn there. I mean, fantastic racing. Very, very high drama. What a wonderful series of races. And like you say, it sounds like you and Jamie had a wonderful time of racing tonight. That's why you turn up, right?
Yep. I love these cars. They're terrifying to drive. You're scared all the time, but you gotta love it.
Yeah. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your 2 second places tonight?
With a donut. I have a donut.
Excellent. Donuts are good.
Yeah. Everyone in the league has filled a 20 V8s Saturday evening. Tip top, brilliant fun. You guys for running the league and the broadcast, because otherwise I wouldn't be racing. You guys for putting a rolling start, so I couldn't have a bad start. And
yeah, we were as surprised as you. It was an iRacing update that caught us completely unawares. It has happened before, by the way. So it resets whatever we put into the pre-booked session and rolls us on any ovals. So we're going to have to look forward and make sure that any other ovals are not the same. So
No,
sorry about that. Carry on.
leave it as it is. I like it. I can't mess up those starts.
Yeah.
And Jamie for making me look good, and especially last week or last time out at Winton, where it was the most painful thing to watch him drive that car, because the one track where you can't be overtaken unless you make a mistake, he makes all the mistakes in a row, and it was really annoying to watch. So I'm glad to be driving this time and back to normal.
Awesome stuff. In that case, many congratulations on a double second place event tonight, Simon Trendle.
Cheers.
I'm the only one in the live booth at the moment, and I don't know why. I can only assume, that Clyde has flushed himself as well as Simon Trendle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite Johnny Brandon into the booth. Apologies, Johnny. I'm the only one in the booth. I don't know what's happened to Clyde. He's absolutely vanished. A double victory tonight. What a fantastic finish to race 2. Oh my God, what a fantastic finish to race 2. You must be absolutely stoked if you're in Australia right now.
I'm incredibly happy, Pete, because I'm in England right now.
yeah. Incredibly happy in England, stoked in Australia.
It was a fantastic race. Well done to Simon. Yeah, very different strategies, very different tyres for the last couple of corners there. And great fun, great.
I mean, that was bonkers. Have you got the stream running? Because I did this with Simon a minute ago, and he talked us through the last few turns. He said...
No, I haven't. Anyway,
have you not?
right,
on. Okay. So, you both came into the third from last turn. Simon got a bit of wheel spin, not much, he said, but enough to give you an advantage. It wasn't any advantage though when you look at it, because you were behind him but held the outside line around the penultimate turn, and then just got such wonderful traction into the final turn. He did turn in slightly early. There was a little bit of contact. He suffered the most, and then you took the victory. Brilliant tactics, to be honest. I mean, were you worried hanging it out 9 laps beyond everybody else?
Yeah, I thought it was a terrible mistake when I come out of the pits. I really did. So I just thought, I'm going to try something different this week. I'm just going to go long. And so I went pretty much long. I could have gone another 2 laps, but the tyres were getting really bad. So I just sort of stuff it. I'll go now. When I come out and he was 7 seconds ahead of whatever he was.
Yep.
I was like, oh no, I've messed this right up. I was quite surprised. I thought some of the others, I thought Tyler and some of the other guys would have been there as well, because I thought there was a train. When they pitted, I thought they were a bit of a train.
Well, it looks like being a train doesn't do you much good necessarily. There's a draft for some, and it's just impeding for others. And I think that is absolutely the case tonight. I think you've proven that being in the train and poking your head out the front of it after the pit stop is the way to go, because you absolutely motored up to the back of Simon Trendle's car. He said he was looking at the timing screens, and he knew there'd be a disadvantage to him, obviously, but he didn't expect you to be eating in that fast, and he said it was quite concerning the amount of time you were taking out of him each lap. And I think that's probably the opposite being true of Tyler. He didn't really eat into anything, did he? He drifted further back from you each lap.
Oh, I mean, no disrespect to Tyler, but I was looking forward at Simon there. I wasn't.
Yeah.
So early on, the first race, I was just sort of saving my tyres again and doing what you need to do.
Yep.
And it worked. The second race, I was doing the same again, trying to save a bit of fuel at the start. And then when everybody pitted, I thought, well, I'm just going to keep going, try something different. I've got some clear track here. And yeah, when I come out and he was so far ahead, I thought, well, I'm going to have 1 or 2 laps of good pace. And that's probably it. He's too far ahead. But like you say, I was. It's probably the one time in the 2 races I wasn't worried about my tyres or anything else. I was like, right, I'm just going to go. Let's see if I can catch him. And honestly, I thought he was saving his own tyres for the last couple of laps. so that he could put a push on just before I caught him. So when I caught him, I was like, okay. And yeah, it doesn't get much more exciting than the
No,
last 3 corners of the last lap.
no, that was
So
brilliant. And
I almost feel sorry for him. It was because he
almost,
didn't deserve that.
almost.
It was fantastic. Nobody deserved to lose that race out of me, and it was great. So yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant, well played.
And what I was saying to Clyde was, some of these flat tracks inside ovals can be pretty boring. This one has been one of the most exciting races I think I've ever broadcast. When if you do watch them back, watch this one back even if you don't, because honestly there was battles everywhere constantly on all corners of the track. It was unreal, and I don't know why that's happened. I don't know whether it's because the evolution of the field has become more competitive. That's not usually the case, but it certainly seems like this was, for a very flat track, no undulation at all with these oval tracks. This was fantastic tonight, and I don't know why.
I think it just lends itself to good. You know, there's a lot of rights followed by lefts.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not all right-hand corners or all left-hand corners, if you know what I mean, with
mm,
the odd opposing corner in it. There's a lot of one corner leads into the opposite direction, so it allows you to get side by side. It's nice and wide. Slipstream's quite powerful round here. So again, when I was chasing Simon, I was just starting to think I was struggling, and then just got into his toe. I was like, "That's it, I've
right,
got him."
yeah.
Um,
And then you were like, "Well, hey!"
and it just promotes
Yeah,
good racing. And
yeah,
personally, I think a lot of the oval tracks are great. I mean, I like tracks that we never do. I can't stand doing the same tracks over and over again with
mm.
so many tracks on iRacing. And the oval tracks, I mean, there's some great ones. I know them so little that I can't even tell you what their name is, but I know there's lots of good ones. So
Yeah, and you must.
not including Charlotte. Charlotte's okay, but it's not one of the best. There's plenty of others that we should do more of.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, if they're anything like this, absolutely bring it on. And you must have been caught out just as much as we were by the rolling start. I know you. I know you're not a stranger to rolling starts, but yeah, an iRacing update really caught us out because it resets all our pre-booked sessions for any tracks that are primarily an oval. Did that catch you unawares in any way, or was it just you know, business as usual for Johnny Brandon?
It was slightly like, oh, okay, we're doing a rolling start. That's unusual, but it wasn't really a surprise because I know Clyde sets the rooms up. So you know.
In his defence, this one was right out of left field. But anyway, anybody you'd like to thank before you go and celebrate with some fake champagne or whatever? Your double.
I'm gonna celebrate my dinner. I'm starving.
Oh, are you? All right. Have you just got in from work? Have you?
Yeah, well, I was in from work and then on the sim, yeah, so I'm
Right.
absolutely starving. I'll be
Yeah, I
going
know
in there
you
for dinner
work.
now.
I know you work bizarre hours. So, thanks for racing tonight. If you've been had a busy day working,
It was worth it. It was great
right,
fun.
brilliant. In that case, do you want to have a shout out to Nicole
Just
Foggy?
thanks to you guys. Well, actually, Foggy was responsible for the fuel usage, believe it
Oh,
or not.
right. Okay. Okay.
So, needless to say, there was total confusion throughout the race about
Yeah.
how much fuel I
Yeah.
was going to put in,
Totally.
which is one of the things I didn't mention. That's why I had to go long because we spent about 25 minutes in the middle of the race deciding how long of the race was left and how much fuel I needed, and we couldn't agree. So it took 25 minutes to sort out that argument, and then
Yeah.
I realised I had none left and had to pit.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
luckily, he got it right this time, which is once in a blue moon. Because if there's anybody you don't want fuel advice from, it's Foggy.
That's funny stuff. He's been on the chat all night. Clyde's been trying to wind him up, and he's not won. But yeah, have a look at the chat because that's wild. In that case, fantastic racing tonight again. Massively entertaining, particularly the dying moments because that was just unreal. Johnny Brandon.
Thanks very much, guys. Great fun. See you in the next one.
Right then. Next up will be our third place finisher, Tyler Newitt. Hopefully he's in the booth now.
Hello.
Hey, Tyler. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I bet you are. Was that 2 third places? You'll have to correct me.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one. 2 podium positions. Can't ask for better when you're up against the likes of Simon and Johnny, right?
Yeah, no, it was very clear from the drop that Johnny and Simon were gonna be the pace setters, and it was a matter of I got quite fortunate in race 1, in that I was able to stick with their toe, and it kinda helped separate me from the pack, but, we were talking about it in the cool down room, and honestly, from 3rd back to, I don't know, 10th or 12th, there's just nothing in it at this point. I mean, everybody is fighting for hundredths of a second every lap, and it is around a track like this where you can really race. It is a ton of fun. So some of the other tracks we've been to, it's a little more aggravating. But no,
Yeah.
I had an awesome day.
Yeah, talk me through that. So, myself and Clyde looked at the schedule for tonight and thought, Indianapolis Road. Okay, it's a road track in an oval. We've seen some less than exciting racing on Charlotte and Daytona over the years, because don't forget we've been going for quite a long time. This one has been an absolute barnstorm of a race. Watch the replay back because it's just incredible the amount of racing going on right the way through the field. I was shocked by it. I'm knackered because I've been pointing the camera in every direction possible. And you're right. In race 1, you managed to forge quite a big gap actually behind yourself to 4th place. In the second race, not the case at all. You were highly competitive all the way through the first portion of the race, making overtakes and dicing back with Jamie Wilson quite a lot. Jamie had an incident right towards the end of the race in race 2, where he spun himself at turn 1. But the gap in front of you at the end of the race was quite substantial. So, what do you attribute that to? Do you attribute that to tactic or racecraft or tire management? What was that about?
Just pace.
Just
I mean,
pace, right.
Simon and Johnny were quicker. There's no two ways about it. I kept with them in the first race because they kept getting close, and Johnny would make a mistake and Simon would make a move, and then Johnny would pull away and he'd make a mistake again and Simon would make a move, and that kept me just within toe distance. But once I lost it in the pit sequence here, because I kind of came out behind Jamie and Ant, and that slowed my progress. I also took way more fuel than Simon. That kind of sealed it. But they were just quicker, and it's not a ton. It's a tenth or two a lap. More when you have battles like Jamie and Ant and I had towards the end of that one. The gap just grows, and it'll come around. We'll come to a track where that suits me a little more. This is not typically the style I have great success on. So the fact that I was able to pull a double podium out of it was I'm properly happy with that. I'll take that away smiling.
Yeah, I mean, in the company you're in, definitely. I mean, you are a race winner from previous as well, so you must be itching to get that second or third one. Is it third one that you'll be facing?
It would be 4th, but sure,
Before,
yeah.
sorry.
No, don't worry. There was the freebie at Sebring, which I
Right.
barely count. So no, I'm itching to get back, but I also I was talking to Simon about it. It's sometimes just playing that game because early in the run there, I was between him and Johnny was starting to pull a gap, and I thought these are the 2 guys in front of me in the championship, but at the same time, I know Simon's got a better chance of running down Johnny, and maybe I can stick with him in the toe.
Mhm.
And I let him through. It didn't work out ultimately because Simon jumped quite a bit in the pit sequence, but
Yeah.
I think it was the right move. You got to kind of know the tracks you're racing. You got to know where your pace is relative to the people, and maybe Simon and Johnny would have come together in a more dramatic fashion than it sounded like they did, and I could have swooped in. So it's yeah, it was definitely a matter of just kind of playing the numbers and doing the best I could given the situation. But I'll definitely look forward to some of the tracks later on to see if I can get to that top step again. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, you've proven it literally 3 times before. So this will be your next win will be your 4th, like you say, and we look forward to that day because it's BSTV Sports Green at the end of the day, isn't it? And it's a due thing to have. So awesome stuff. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your double 3rd place finish tonight?
Yeah, you guys, of course, for the broadcast and for the league, which the participation this season has just been awesome. And the racing has been fantastic. I mean, this group of drivers is so great and so tight at the front and all the way through. It's just been on another level. Shout out to BSTV Esports. We had a 5 drivers today, which is great. Nice to have a solid turnout from the team, and everybody in the chat was having fun except Sam because he never does. And yeah, that's it. Shout out to Jamie as well for an awesome race. I felt terrible for him at the end. I really was worried that I'd hit him because it would have been a massive shame to ruin such a great battle. But no, I had a blast today, and looking forward to the next one.
No, it looked like looked like Jamie looped it all on his own.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
But,
so no, great racing tonight again, and great positions again for Tyler Newitt tonight. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Okay, so in fine fashion, we will bring in Jamie Wilson into the booth. Good evening, Jamie.
Evening.
Evening. So I'll talk about race 2 first because I don't. Well, yeah, that's the reason. Turn 1. I think it was penultimate lap, or maybe even onto the last lap. You kind of was it? You looped it at turn 1 and lost quite a number of positions actually because they were crowding up behind you, weren't they? So you finished 8th. Your finishing position in race 1. Just remind me what that was.
I'm old. I can't remember.
I think that was 8th.
No, it was it? Oh, I don't know.
Something like that.
I was on pole, so I must have been 10th.
Oh, 10th, right. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. How was leading the field away in race 2? Because you gapped the field by a mega amount pretty quick. And then it closed down, and then it opened up again. So what was going on with that?
So, well, I don't know if you caught it, but I made a howler of a lockup.
At turn about 6.
I think of it as turn 10 in the old layout, but yeah.
It would be. Yeah, that's right. At the end of the long straight, you kind of ploughed it. Did a bit of greenery, and then got back on the track.
Well, I just about managed to rescue it, but I basically just very slightly outbrake myself and managed to do so on a bump, and then trying to not lock the car up because that tyre life preservation was so important for this race. Mm-hmm. So you had to really avoid locking up. So to not lock up, I was then thinking, engine braking will help. Couldn't get the damn downshifted. So I was just like, in the revs, just like, come on! Just like,
somebody push. Somebody push.
Yeah, it was just like, just catalogue of small mistakes is basically the summary of the whole thing, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it's still just because I just haven't had any time to do any practice. Same as in the TCRs, just it's a bit manic at the moment. So, when I did that race at Oschersleben in the Honda, for example, like I could put that car anywhere. It was like spot on. Whereas here, I just don't have that level of confidence to be pushing all the time like that.
Right.
I can push that. I can. Like at the start of that race, I was comfortable. Surprised that I was doing the times I was, to be honest. But I just made that small mistake. And then when I came out of the pits, I got jumped in the pits anyway. I knew that was going to happen anyway. But the new tyres, but they're cold, gives you this kind of weird false confidence.
All right, okay.
And it's the same thing I did at Winton. I just outbrake myself like a complete dingus, basically, and then just sailed through the moto thing, and then rejoined in front of Tyler, and then the rest is history from there, really.
Right. Okay. But it's a very competitive field this season, isn't it? There's no room for errors at all.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, I made a very, very small error in turn 2, on the exit of that chicane. Just a little whoop sort of slide, and Tyler was just like bam straight down the inside.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
if
there's just
you've
such a
got
small
momentum,
little indiscretion.
yeah, if you've got momentum there, it's almost easy for the car behind to do that. We did TCR GT4 TCR here a couple of seasons ago, maybe 3 seasons ago. It's quite a challenging track, really, isn't it, for a flat infield oval?
Yeah, I mean, yes, there are tracks that are interesting that have elevation. You know, the next one's Rudskogen is a good example of that. But but yeah, this and the old layout have always been layouts that I think have got a bit of an unfair rap in the past. Certainly the old one, for its little sort of Mickey Mouse section at the end and all this, that, and the other. But you know, I've done it in IndyCars, and most recently I've done it in the old IndyCar here at this layout. You know, quite recently, and some of those corners that people are like, when they first, you know, drive the track or whatever, they're actually super interesting because you can take some slightly unusual lines. There's differences in lines, a bit like Sepang in F1 in Malaysia. Like there are certain corners there where 20 drivers have 20 different lines. There's a few of those. That was more true on the old circuit, has to be said. But also, there's opportunities for weird fuel-saving stuff because of the nature of the corners and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I think that last section that they've kind of added to it, which is the old moto section backwards, is also quite interesting because it's like half blind, and then the traction zone on the way out it's such a variable between us. I was saying that to Tyler. He was getting a better initial drive and then sliding in the middle, and then I was getting a worse drive at the start, but then being better off at the second half. And there's all that sort of stuff. That's what led to the good racing today. The fact that everyone had a slightly different approach and ended up in the same place lap time wise.
Yeah, and your teammate had such a dramatic finish to the second race. It was unbelievable. Didn't go in his favour, but Simon did a fantastic job of getting 2 second place finishes. Any other shout outs you want to make other than to Simon tonight?
Yeah, to everyone that I raced, particularly Ant Woodward in that first race in particular.
Fairly inseparable, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm full up of NQR sandwiches now. Amount of them. I was just saying I could draw the back of his car from memory now. Tyler, as always, as I've said before, it's fantastic racing. This field because you can trust everyone, and everyone trusts you, and that allows for. We were having little bumps, and Tyler smacked the back of the car, I smacked the side of Ant a few times, whatever, and all of our approaches to that is didn't matter to me, it was fine. And so it's quite a good culture I think we have in the league. So yeah, everyone that adopts that, and of course yourself for putting it on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure you had the director whiplash in this one, trying to juggle where to look.
No, that was me. Yeah, that was me. I was on cameras. Clyde's abandoned me, aka Discord won't let him back in. I wouldn't let him back in if he approached my house. You know what I mean? But that's just the way that is. Great racing tonight. Yet again, a 10th and an 10th and a 9th. Sorry, I thought you were 8th. 10th and a 9th.
Oh, don't.
Sorry, I've just ruined it, haven't I? Never mind. We will see you back in action on Wednesday. Where are you on Wednesday with TCR?
The Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Oh, it's the big one. So plenty of opportunities to get lost in the forest. We will see you next time out here with Osher Schleben, Jimmy Wilson.
Cheers, Pete.
Okay, so a couple more still to go. Next one into the booth is Ant Woodward. The
Evening.
Evening. Yeah, I was just going to plug Wild Rides. Do you want to do anything with that?
Oh no! What a night! What a night! Has Clyde rage quit?
He's rage quit. Yeah, he got a strop on. Didn't like the fact that he didn't win. And
Nice.
we've not seen him since. So
Perfect night then.
He claims it was something to do with Discord. I think he's lying. Don't know about you. But yeah. Well, you got a 4th in this second race. Remind me where you finished in the first race. You finished, was it 6th?
9th.
9th. I've got them all wrong tonight. What on earth am I doing? Yeah, of course you did, because Jamie finished 10th and you were inseparable for the whole of the first race.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Really good fun.
Yeah, and in the second race you got attached to Tyler, didn't you?
You have to tell me. I'm always blank. The lads are all talking there, saying this happened, that happened. Oh, do you remember this? And literally, I have to watch it, Pete. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, well,
I just know I had pace, and that's a really nice feeling, isn't it?
You did, and it was good. I think you were the furthest forward NQR car in both races, if I'm not wrong.
I think that's happened a few times this season, and I'm quite proud of that. But
yeah,
largely before it's been because Tony or whatever's had a nightmare. But
true of
genuinely,
race one. True of race
genuinely
one.
was fast today.
Yeah, Tony had incidents in the first race, and because it's a sprint race and because it was early in the race, he ended up losing a massive amount of positions. And I think he probably took damage, to be fair, because one incident led to another for Tony in that first race, which is characteristic of someone with damage. We saw quite a lot of your car in action with others. No, I don't mean crashing. I mean competitive race.
Directing.
Brilliant. No, it's me.
Oh right, okay. So you did.
Sam was on track with you.
Okay, I didn't see him.
Did you not? I mean, let's face it, he was a mile behind you, but he was on he was on track with you tonight. That's class. I'm going to remind him of this moment. I might just record that out of the broadcast and play it back to him repeatedly, over and over again for the rest of his life. But yeah, he was on track with you. I was on the broadcast tonight doing cameras, and yeah, you kept me busy. It has to be said. As did most of the field, to be honest. This track, although flat and an infield oval, has been brilliant tonight, and I don't understand why. Because sometimes these tracks can be boring, and or uneventful. Let's say this one's just been crazy, absolutely crazy. There's been battling everywhere, and you were part of it.
Yeah, I was practicing all week on and off. Didn't have loads of practice, but on and off a few times, and didn't really gel. Didn't really like the track. I watched the veterans race from Australia and with the Hoff in it, and there was in the comments, looks like it's been just drawn by a kid with a crayon. But I tell you what, I was going to make a pun. I was going to say, there's nothing like racing one of the great American race circuits, and this is nothing like.
Yeah.
But that was ace, like really good fun racing on that track. Like, me and Jamie always raced pretty well together, so it was just great fun to get through it and not get nerfed or anything, and just to run the race. Brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that tonight. We saw no nerfing going on. We saw, I think, probably one, maybe two solid air moments, and no, not even a situation where someone had to give a position back. It was just really good racing, really fair. I've loved tonight. I think this is one of the best races I've ever broadcast on for competitive racing.
It was good.
Still can't quite understand it. The finish of the feature race, oh my god, that'll get replayed many millions of times without a doubt. That's probably one of the best finishes I've ever seen. And if you're not aware of it already, then you need to watch it, because that was stunning. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we celebrate your fourth place? Definitely tonight.
Are we just glossing over the standard starts, or have someone mentioned it already?
No, I've mentioned it many times. So this one we've become a victim. Do you not remember a few seasons ago we ended up with random rolling starts?
Oh, okay.
It's because of an iRacing update which rewrites everything that you book. So Clyde books them months in advance. If an update comes out on an oval track, it resets us to a rolling start.
Okay.
Maybe that's
why. Maybe that's why he's rage quit. I thought.
No,
just thought it was ironic.
Discord's fallen out with him, but I don't believe that for a minute. I think he wanted.
I just thought it was ironic on the feature race. I'm sat in second place. I'm looking at a Team Chlamydia car on my right, thinking, those boys can't start for Toffee, and it's a rolling start.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we were as surprised as you were, but we now know what causes it. Or we knew already, to be honest, but we'd forgotten. So we possibly should have gone in and rebooked it, but never mind. Yeah. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, so the team, especially Gary Croft, he's been back racing.
Oh, right, cool.
He did the Americas the other night and came 5th, so big shout out to him. He developed some of the setup I'm using. Jack and Evie, of course, gorgeous wife Stacey, and Simability team and league sponsors.
Yeah, and Wild Rides. Is that
Oh,
still?
yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget that. It's all over.
Well,
the
I'm not plugging it too much because I'm busy out on me bum, so.
Fair enough.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah, but Wild Rides is there as well. Yeah, awesome. People need to have a look at that on the website when they can do. So thanks a lot for tonight, and we will look forward to seeing you at that other racetrack that I can't pronounce. What's it called?
No idea.
The
Rudushkudgen.
Yeah, that's the one. Well said.
Okay.
We'll go with your version of that.
Sounds Welsh.
It does, doesn't it? It's not. Thanks a lot for tonight.
Cheers, Pete.
And Woodward. Cool. And then our traditional last in at the booth tonight is Vincent Skilbeck. Good evening.
Evening.
Oh, good morning. It's morning, isn't it?
Yes.
It's morning.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
What time have you got?
10 to 8.
10 to 8. Oh my God. I can't even function by that time in the UK. I really can't. Great racing tonight. We saw you in a flurry of battles. You had a 13th place, I'm going to go with, in race 1. 15th place in race 2. You can correct me if my maths is bad, or my memory rather is bad.
Yeah, right.
You had some. You had a bit of door banging, etc., in the first race, and yeah, tell me about your second race, because whilst I remember you featuring a lot, and you were featuring a lot, I can't remember who you were battling with right now. The end of the race is still vivid in my memory because it's one of the best I've ever seen. So if you haven't seen the end of the race, watch it again, Vincent.
I will.
Excellent.
Yeah, the second race. Who was I on with? I think Greg Carr.
Oh yes.
And that lot.
Yeah, and Nikolai Pierre.
We had a
yeah.
three wide incident going into one of the chicanes after that back straight, and yeah, that kind of put me back a bit, but I tried to fight back, but yeah, I just don't have the pace this week.
Yeah, well, you say that, but I think you were quite quick, to be honest. Your fastest lap, I can't remember now.
It's a 27 flat second race.
Right, okay. So yeah, you were possibly, well, compared to the very top few, you were slower. But compared to the rest of the pack, you were very competitive. I remember in the first race, you had an out of car experience. By that I mean your connection was a bit stroby, and into turn 1 you had a lock up. I think as a result of that, I think a car probably appeared in front of you, and you had a very, very sharp turn 1 at that point, and therefore lost connection with that group.
That one was just all me.
Oh, right. Okay.
I did not realize they were checking up so much for turn 1, and I almost straight into the back, so I just put my foot on even harder, and yeah, just locked it up to stop hitting them. But yeah, that was all me, that one.
No, okay. Have you done many of the officials this week? Because we were looking, me and Clyde always look at the officials just to see where everybody is and what they're doing. And we saw that there wasn't many sessions that went official. Is this not popular in the V8 world?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't really run the official races anymore.
Okay.
I do sometimes when I want to. But I think it's just because of what iRacing have done with this series, both series, that yeah, it numbers have dropped a bit. And this being kind of a newish track, some people may not have it or just don't like the track overall, so they just don't run it. But I found the track was all right, but yeah, that last corner is just a bit weird for me. Every time I tried to
Last
go through it,
corner.
I just kept stepping sideways on me. So yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
could never get a good run onto the front straight, which was annoying.
Yeah, that will be frustrating. We're watching on the broadcast at the minute. You coming out of that penultimate turn and onto the last turn now. Um, it's it's funny. This track has been one of those ones where you expect a boring race. I don't know. There's some tracks that lend themselves to that. This one was like that. I expected a boring race. I got an utterly engaging, mega competitive, battles everywhere race, and it was astonishing. I hope we come back here again very soon because that was brilliant. I don't know whether that was your experience of Indianapolis Road.
For me, it was all right. Coming back from behind was a bit boring for me.
Yeah.
But once I got up to people and was actually racing with them, yeah, it was some good fun. I had a couple of incidents coming into that like first little chicane where we just didn't want to give up. I ended up getting a slowdown, lap one from Greg Carr because he just as we went in there he hit me and I kind of went across the curb and got the slowdown. But
Right.
yeah, apart from all of that, yeah, the racing seemed really good to me. And what I saw from in front of me, with other cars that I could see, they were looking like they're having some pretty good battles, so it was good.
Awesome stuff. Well, it's always great to speak with you. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out to in celebration of your 13th and 15th, respectively? Obviously, the Wheelie Bins Facebook community is a massive drive for you, so they'll be first on your list, yeah?
Yes, they are always on my list. Jamie McKnight for supporting the SEG group with what he does is pretty good. Everyone in the league for the nice racing and the tightness of the field, which is absolutely insane now.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome to see. Um, Simability for sponsoring this season, and you guys for the broadcast.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will see you out next time in the V8s at the track I can't pronounce. Are you
Yep.
any good at saying
Good
it?
luck with that. Nope.
No.
I am not.
I like the way you bailed out of that one. We'll go with
Yeah.
because that's about as good as I can do.
Rush. I don't know.
Yeah, that's better than mine. Great racing tonight again, and very competitive again. Vincent Skillback.
Yeah, catch you guys later.
So that brings the end of tonight's race to a close. I have managed to get a comment from Clyde, who's given me his. Where is it? Is it that one? Yeah. So he's given me the driver of the meeting being Ant Woodward. No explanation as to why. Maybe it's his feet on the inset camera that's turned him on too much. So Ant Woodward gets a vote just because of his feet. Not the best way to get points, to be honest. But never mind. Where do I go with my vote for driver of the evening? Simon Trendle, Johnny Brandon, both of them with a 1 and a 2. That dramatic ending, you could say, could have gone either way. Tyler Newitt, a third and an 8th or something like that. I can't remember. Brilliant racing from him tonight. Ant Woodward did really well. Got a 4th. Got a 6th-ish or 8th. I can't remember. I have no idea how to do maths anymore. I'm looking down the field and I'm seeing other people that have done well. But I think I have to go with Simon Trendle, because 2 second places. He's held his nerve. His professionalism in the interview room was also something that influences my decision. He's obviously enjoyed himself tonight, and enjoying these leagues is part of it. I'm not saying that anybody else didn't, but he was very, very complimentary to his competition, which is brilliant. And I think that deserves a mention. So Simon Trendle gets my vote for driver of the meeting tonight. It's been a great race. It's been a great broadcast. I'm utterly on my own, as you can probably tell, because Clyde's Discord apparently has abandoned him completely and won't let him back in. It only leaves me to say good night to everybody who is watching still. I believe there are 11 of you still watching. Amazing. Give us a like if you haven't already. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and all the other platforms that we broadcast on, and you won't miss anything. We are back midweek next week. I think it might be me and just me and Sir Alan on the midweek TCR race, and we will be back with GTCC on the 6th of November. Hopefully Wobbly will join me for that one. I'll be doing the cameras again as Sam takes a vacation from being race director, and we will see you next time. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to Simability for being a fantastic sponsor. They really do make sim racing accessible for those people who are less fortunate than some of the rest of us, and modify sim racing gear for people with challenges, bringing them into the community, which cannot be more highly respected. Go to their website and see what they do, and see if you can support them further. And then we will see you next time out. Thank you very much for your support tonight, and we will see you next time. Thank you and good evening.